live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio. It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Show number 543.
Hey,
What's going on?
how are you, my friend?
Good.
Happy Friday, everybody. It is a Friday free show of A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
This is show number, I have to go and I have to look at this. We've done so many of these now. 543.
All
Samantha is back from vacation, but not in studio. She's picking her life up. You know how it is after vacation. You get in and...
Yeah. Especially driving.
Do you guys do what I do? I clean my house before I go on vacation.
We try, but
And then that way when I come back, my house is like pristine and perfect.
Yeah.
But Butler is sitting in Samantha's stead. Is that how you say it? In steed? Steed. And then joining us, and he'll be on news today. And it's always good to see this guy. We've known him for a very long time, since the origin of the show when we had to call him Samuel. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our friend Tuddle.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going?
Good, man. Good. Staying busy.
So
It's good to be busy, you know? Yeah. And congrats on feeling better, buddy. We love you, and we're glad you're moving and grooving.
I've been through a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
That's why we wanted to have you on for the news. We figured,
I need to still pull some.
No, that's fine. Hey, listen, whatever.
I mean,
story,
I
we'll
found
just talk
I found
shit.
a couple.
Yeah.
I found a couple that I can do.
It's completely fine.
It's fine. It's
We can always...
we're just gonna fuck around.
yeah.
So congratulations on the 10 years, guys.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I so badly wanted to make it out to the party, but, going through a lot of personal things, I didn't feel like...
Probably not a good place for you.
No,
Yeah,
and I've been,
especially with not trying to drink, going out to bars and during a celebration, not
it's
the
like,
best.
But I got to tell you, though, it does not bother me to have people around me drinking. Like, the first 2 weeks was rough, physically getting off of it.
Yeah.
Everything after that was completely mental.
Yeah.
Because when I was bored, I wanted to drink because that's what I was used to. Going home, and pounding some beers after the show.
Yeah. It's when you're what's the saying? The idle hands
Or the devil's workshop.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? That's what I want. It's like they always say, idle hands are the devil's cock block. Like, I don't know what you were going to say.
I'm glad you bailed me
You
out
guys
on
are
that.
really, you and Butler are really showing your stoniness. I wish Sam was here to see it. Butler had some fajitas from our good friend Juan. He made us fajitas.
Yeah.
And I think it's to help promote. He's got a food blog. It's Bisto and Blondie. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I believe so.
And Juan brought the food in, and then Butler took one piece of the pork or chicken and ate it, and he's like, "This tastes like a restaurant." You guys are fucking idiots. Just fucking idiots.
I was talking with my
This
wife.
tastes like a restaurant right here. My woo-wee.
Fancy.
I didn't even have to menu this.
Real quick before we start, let's plug some things.
Yeah, we'll get this out of the way here.
Right now, going on tonight, actually, Nightmare Before Christmas at Dr. Phillips. They did this last year. It's really cool. Basically, they show the movie with a live orchestra.
Yeah.
And so the whole score is played live while you watch Nightmare Before
It also
Christmas.
sounds like extremely difficult to me. It sounds like something that you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot going on there. So
Yeah, so go on Dr. Dr. Phillips' website, get your tickets, bring your kids if you're a fan of Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, just the facility of Dr. Phillips is worth going in there and having a really cool night. And this is a super cool show. So
check
Nightmare
it out.
Before Christmas, Dr. Phillips tonight. Also, our documentary, we have... because of our 10-year anniversary, we thought that it'd be cool for a limited time. Not sure how long, but we lowered the price to our documentary on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So right now it's $2.99.
That's for
afford it now.
HD. Yeah, it's HD.
Yeah.
You can go $1.99 if you want to get standard definition.
Yeah. So
And I'm okay with that because I don't think there's anything in our documentary that requires HD.
in fact, do standard because
Yeah.
my face is
we're
real
so
red.
fat.
The rotation.
Tuddle, we're
Oh,
so
yeah.
fat. We're so fat in the movie. Well, we've lost weight. So, but when I go back and I look at it, I'm like, oh man, that's bad, red.
I've lost 20 pounds since I stopped drinking.
Congratulations.
That'll happen.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Like I
You didn't
haven't even
lose
worked-
any of that dick, did you?
No, I did not.
Big
it's
old
Actually, it makes it look way bigger. You know.
long nerd hammer.
Oh yeah.
Cacao.
So
yeah. Too bad I haven't used it lately.
We could change that. We could change it. Butler, suck his dick. Come on.
I'll take anything right now.
Butler's like, yes, sir.
it'd be awkward.
I'll do my toast.
who's like,
Butler?
turn
Is
the-
Butler, do your toast with his cock in your mouth.
So is Butler like your zany stunt guy now, or?
I mean, I
kind
didn't
of.
want you guys to compete this early.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of open. Like I'm a hired gun
I know
now,
you
so
are. I
like
know
I
you
mean,
are.
I'll come in here and do it for free for
Oh yeah. Listen, maybe we do.
You hear that?
Stunt
You hear
double.
that?
This guy's got the goods. So okay. Well,
Butler's confidence is shaking now. So, shit, Jordan's here.
so okay.
Michael Jordan of the stunt game.
I want to ask Tuddle about this and all you guys. So I've been on this hunt for 4-wheelers for my
Oh,
sons. I
God.
know.
Why
Please,
don't
for
you
the
go
love of
Why don't
God.
you go straight white trash and go 3-wheel?
But don't tell them that. My hand
he's
there's
been trying.
a goddamn death trap. I see him every once in a while. I'm like, how did what have we done? Have no lawsuits in the 80s? Like, how would they
No.
approve selling this shit?
No, there were clauses.
But anyway, so I've been looking online, and some of great BDMs have been sending me stuff, but they sell out. There's like a crazy aftermarket for these damn things because no one wants to buy them new.
Yeah.
Because your kid's gonna only use them for 3 years and you're gonna sell them again.
I had no idea that little kids even enjoyed doing this. Like, I'm being serious. Like,
Like
I didn't.
riding
Yeah, like I didn't know it was like really a thing.
Yeah. Oh, in Florida, there's more Florida.
There's gotta be other places,
Yeah,
like Texas.
urban there. So
Alabama,
Didn't do it in Virginia. I'll tell you
Georgia. Yeah. In Virginia, I learned to ride 3-wheelers, so it's in the same corridor. I feel like you were just in the rich part, and your parents were British. They're not going to teach you how to ride 4-wheelers.
that. I learned how to sail. Yeah.
Sails up on the rusty boat, please.
Florida,
Whoa.
more 4-wheeler. Brett's more sailing.
Yeah.
But so I've been like putting my feelers out there to find something. Then something popped up on Craigslist, which it's.
Are you still doing Craigslist?
Well, I
Yeah. Oh,
started
yeah.
with Facebook Marketplace.
I'm looking at you and Butler right now. We've got maritime law and Miller time law. That's the difference.
How have you not gotten murdered yet?
Well, I'll bring this up.
See,
I have
sometimes when you
excellent
bring
instincts.
Tuddle in, you just pick up, like, he's like family. He
What
picks
are
up
you
right where
afraid
he
of?
left. No, he knows that you've been doing these. The last one, in fact, he might have been there when we talked about the time that you were going to the German man's house to look at the hot tub, and you told me, if I don't come back, this is the address I'm at. Are you pulling that shit again?
I am, although only for my sons at this point. Nothing for myself. I've gotten out of that game, but
Well, you have a dirt bike, right? So you're good to go.
Yeah, well,
or do you need a 4-wheeler?
No. At this point, I'm like just looking because my dream scenario is having my sons ride around Croom Forest and me watching them, proud dad, drinking.
Oh,
White
you're not
Claw.
riding with them. You're drunk. And they're just performing their stunts.
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
Okay.
So because
All
I
right.
got a campsite right next to the kids' track. Anyway, so that in my mind, I'm like, I have to achieve this. This is my dream. So I've been looking for another used 4-wheeler. So I found one on Craigslist, and right near my house.
Well, that's great.
And because really, the only ones I've been finding are far away, like 200 miles away, and I was going to have to drive or pay someone to go out there and buy. Anyway,
do you even have a truck to bring these things
up? He has a truck now.
Things have been going good for me.
It's been real good. He's got a Trump truck.
Is this still like trash truck in the back?
No, brand new.
Well, it's not brand new.
With Impossible Whopper bags or
2019.
With dings all on the doors.
Well, that I bought. That I did after.
Remember your old truck when you took it on the Daytona International Speedway and you had a trash tornado going on in the back?
Yeah.
And then all the
just
oil
littered all over the place.
Well, all the oil fell to one side. It started smoking. We couldn't get it out of there. It was never the same after that ride.
Yeah, it never went as fast.
I think we fucked it up.
yeah.
I was in that truck.
Remember what was the name of the guy that ran? He was a party
Robin
animal.
Bragg.
Robin Bragg, yeah.
Whiskey
crazy.
That guy
we
was
would
a
drive
party
drunk with that guy all the time.
You used to total.
You were telling me, it was crazy, and we go on
didn't you fuck Ross Franco?
Yes, I did.
Don't talk about that.
Yeah, I did.
On his boat or something. They were
no.
having a party, and he pulled out the nerd hammer and set it right down.
The craziest sex I've ever had was with her.
I don't know if we cut that out.
No, why would you cut that out?
I mean, not for your sake, but I don't know if anybody wants to.
I'd watch it. I'd film it.
It was like 3 hours of foreplay of her dressing up in outfits and making me take pictures of her.
3 hours?
Well done.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Is that too much for you, little baby?
No, she was like dressing up in like fucking like medieval dresses and shit like that. And it was crazy, and she was in the knife play too, and it was crazy.
I like that.
Tuddle saying this? I have no idea if this is true. So
you've never lived until you've had a switchblade to a woman's neck while you're on top.
Okay. He's going over the top. You knew this was going to happen.
I don't know. I didn't know.
You knew it. You knew it.
I was like, he's calmed down now. He's taking it easy.
Crazier than ever.
So
no, you're fine.
So anyway, I find this four-wheeler on Craigslist, and then I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm gonna go buy this right now. So I get cash out. It's like $1,200. And then
God Almighty.
I know that's how much for kids.
That's expensive, man.
And
but if they're gonna hold their value, then I guess
right. Listen, and my wife is like, well, how do you know if this thing's stolen? Or no, not like
everything on Craigslist is stolen.
That's what she said.
Yeah, everybody.
Serial numbers are shaved down.
yeah, you gotta scratch those off.
And I'm like, listen. I tell my wife, I was like, I've done a lot of Craigslist deals. I can basically eyeball a situation and know what I'm walking into, like right off the bat. Like Craigslist is the last bastion of profiling. Like you should profile on Craigslist, for your own life.
Just know what you're getting into.
Yeah. And I feel like everybody is totally fine with profiling and stereotyping on Craigslist. And
styling and profiling, as Ric Flair would say.
Let me ask you this though. Now, has your wife given you any problems with all the shit that you're accumulating in the garage from Craigslist?
Well, half of it's her shit too.
Okay, I wasn't for sure because
this she knows is my dream. She's put the.
You have a lot of dreams.
Yeah, there's a lot of dreams going on.
Yeah, like every day comes in with
I'm
a new
dreamer.
dream. Yeah, I know. We know.
And by the way, this is gonna dovetail into something I want to talk to you guys about because I am convinced I'm setting myself up for a horrible letdown.
You're putting a lot of pressure on the dream.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And I feel like this is going to be the classic example of I'm doing this tremendous amount of effort and they're not going to be into it. They're going to look at it and be like take it or leave it.
Well, are you forcing them in any way to do?
I mean, not by gunpoint, but I am screaming, get on the four-wheeler and have fun.
Get on the goddamn
I risk my life on Craigslist.
Like when my dad on the vacation screamed, we're going to have fun on this vacation if it fucking kills us.
Yeah. That'll make kids have fun.
Yeah.
So I give my wife the address and I say, this is where I'll be dead if I don't come back.
Well, how long are you giving her? Assume. How long is the transaction going to take?
I said, I got to do this transaction before it hits nighttime. And I'm going into not the worst part of Castleberry, but not the mansion part.
Okay, all right.
So
there's a mansion part?
No.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say, stop fucking lying.
But in
you're just trying to make your neighborhood sound better.
But a 3-2 with the shitty pool is a mansion. Okay, all right. So it's all relative.
Is this a Miranda mansion? Wow, this is excellent.
So anyway, so I get my
Is
cash.
that real veneer cabinets?
I actually take the cash out of my pocket and hide it in my truck because I start getting nervous.
No, you don't want to be turning your back to this guy. I feel like that's a rookie move.
I felt like
I thought you put it in your shoe.
If I do get robbed or whatever, better to have the cash in the truck.
He's gonna search your truck.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, I am. If I blow your head off, I'm searching your truck. I might even steal your truck.
So
That's a nice truck.
Yeah, have you not learned anything from Righteous Gemstones?
Yeah, come on, man.
So
excellent.
I pull up and then I see him. The guy. At first I like in all my Craigslist deals. I always. And you think I want to go to a public place, but I actually I was going to this gentleman's house because
that's weird.
I figured
feel more comfortable there?
Well, I figure it's less likely that you sell stolen property from your own house or from a residence. Like you're more likely to go to Walmart and sell stolen property. I'm just doing
I can see that.
I've been around
you
enough.
Just don't give a fuck.
You're right.
You could be stupid.
My wife said that, yeah, my wife mentioned that too.
I read a lot of Craigslist ads. Not a lot of English majors. Using good penmanship on there.
So first, when I pull up, I see I was waiting to make sure that the item is actually real, because if it's not there,
what are you, cardboard cutout? He lures you over, then he shoots you.
Yeah, well, I was thinking to myself, if I pull up and I don't see the 4-wheeler anywhere, I'm just gonna take off. I'm like, it's a trap. But I saw it. It's sitting in the front yard, which I thought it was a trap. Because this is how they get you in. I'm like, in fact,
step inside my house.
This is the bait to a trap, right? But the guy that was selling it, I saw him walk out, and he was skinny, and I was like, "Ooh, bad sign." For whatever reason,
strong, wiry, strong redneck strength.
Skinny guys, I always are more suspicious of. I don't know why. It's stereotype skinny guys.
Because food isn't important.
Yeah.
Harder to fight.
Anytime where food's not important to you, I'm what is important to you?
Also,
probably some sort of poison.
You also if you pull up and out of the door comes a really, really rotund man, immediately you can check off PCP strength. You know what I mean? You can be like, he's fine. Yeah. This guy's a soft load.
Can't run me down.
I mean, he's gonna need a gun.
Which he probably has
to.
The
fatter guys.
Well, if he's fat, it could because he does a lot of pain pills and he's got 50 pounds of shit.
That's true. Could be.
Dude.
I mean, it could go either way. But if he's got big fat guy, maybe you look at his clothing, see if he's wearing a 4XL tactical vest or something like that. I don't know. I'm with you on the profiling though.
Yeah.
Skinny. Describe how he's dressed.
He's
not a listener, is he?
I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't say anything about that or
you didn't
whatever.
Have kinky medieval sex with him. Did you? You're dressed like a fucking maiden and you're fucking this guy for a 4-wheeler.
Didn't seem like he was a listener because he didn't mention anything or whatever.
If you were to categorize this gentleman, which is not a good thing to do, but if you were, how would you categorize this gentleman?
I would say mid-40s, real skinny.
Okay.
Rednecky?
White guy, black guy, Puerto Rican guy, Asian guy?
White dude.
Okay.
Skinny redneck dude.
Mechanic?
Could have been a little...
blue collar? White collar?
A little,
Stupid question, I guess.
He was constantly looking out.
Doing the dance.
Which it didn't make me at all that comfortable. Also, immediately went into telling me how he wasn't scamming me, which is also a tell in my mind.
Yeah.
He was like, come feel the exhaust. I didn't pre-start this. This thing is starting cold to show you that it works. He's like, feel the exhaust.
So he's giving you a little bit of a hard sell.
And I was like, I didn't ask for that. I didn't even think of that. Why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me that this is not a scam?
Yeah.
But I wanted the item.
It's definitely not stolen because I used to be a cop.
Here's my gun. Your gun is
pointed right at you.
Old German like
Ruger,
whatever it's
whatever.
called. I'm pretty sure that's not a police issued firearm. It's a Nazi
You're
gun.
holding a wooden-handled musket on me.
Yeah, did he pay you with Nazi gold?
Exactly.
So he starts immediately, like it touches his exhaust pipe and hasn't pre-started. I was like, that's fine.
Oh, that exhaust pipe's awfully cold.
So then,
I've seen this porn before. Yeah.
then he goes to start it and he's like, he's like, man, this has never happened. He's putting the choke
I
back.
swear to God, there's money on this card.
He started convincing me.
That's funny. I just got
He's
paid.
like,
There's money
he's
on
like,
this
I swear
card.
this is the first time this has ever happened. And I was like, all right.
God damn it.
But in my
And then
mind,
I want
power through. I want this shit.
I want him talking to himself, too. I want him being like, good thing I took my Luger in my back pocket. I'm going to blow his
Now, do you
motherfucker's
bring
head
any weapons with you?
No,
at all?
no.
Why not?
Hey, here's the thing.
You think he's going to tell you that live on the air? Of course he brought a gun.
No, I
And
didn't.
he put a washcloth on it, and he set it on his on the top of his shorts.
Here's the thing. Travis knows exactly why I didn't bring a weapon because
Old handgun. It's all bluing all over it and rust.
he's as bumbly as I am. In my experience,
forgot it.
if in my life experience, I
this
can
motherfucker drops his hot dog from 7-Eleven and shoots a hole through his windshield.
I could only make things worse by bringing it. Like, I bend over to touch the exhaust pipe. It falls out of my pocket.
Yeah, and blows the guy. I mean, blows his head right off.
And then he.
What would you do? Would you take the four-wheeler? Would you take the? Would you try to lift it?
What, so I go to jail for murdering robbery?
That was an accident, and he's not going to use it now.
Yeah, but you got to bring some
Dead.
type of protection, man.
I know.
How
I
about
know.
a Rambo knife with a compass on the end of it?
My whole thing is
Machete?
I always got the trusty bear mace.
If it turns into a robbery situation, I'm like, here's my
At
money.
least put a
I will
steak
leave
knife in
now.
your bra.
Like, guys, I'm not gonna die for $1,200, and I'm playing the odds that he probably won't kill me for $1,200.
But now we've seen your face.
Yeah.
You're right. Like, and you know where I live. I'm like, why did we do this in the Walmart parking lot? Anyway, I there's a lot of tells that have gone wrong at this point. And then the third one was when I told him, I was like, is the gas on? And then he's like, oh, yeah. And then he put the gas on. Then it started up, which told me that I'm like, how long has this guy had this thing?
My kids have been riding this for years. Really I hate to see it go. I call her old Betty. And you're like, wait a minute. You didn't know where the gas was.
Yeah. So then
You're really going to love this hoverboard. Sir, it's a four-wheeler. I mean four-wheeler.
Then he gets on it to show me how it rides and takes off
Isn't
down
it
the
for,
street.
isn't it for
Far.
babies? It's for babies, right?
Yeah. He's tall too, so
Yeah.
his
He looks
knees.
like a praying mantis on a roller skate.
What kind of horsepower are we talking about?
It's a 50
50cc.
cc Polaris Outlaw. So
He's got the money. He's riding around like the.
Which, by the way, is
I didn't give him the money yet.
I mean, it's the same CCs that are in my scooter, right? So it'll go.
but it's for kids apparently, or younger humans. So he
takes off. Does it blow a cigarette out of his mouth or anything?
No, he just takes off, but he drives way further than I'm like, I don't need to know, basically, if
I'm gonna run this thing about 20 miles. I'll be right back.
He took off to the end of the street and disappeared.
Yeah!
And then I was left standing there. And
I
then
wanted to go fast, too.
I was like, is this the trap? I started thinking, I was like, where the other guys are going to come out and get me. So I started backing up towards
that
my
is
truck.
a good idea. That's a great fucking idea. He gets on the thing, right? He takes off, and then you're like watching him leave, and then behind you fucking the whole house is empty.
Yeah.
And you're fucked.
All I can imagine my wife saying when I'm dead is, I told that motherfucker not to do this
Bring
shit.
the four-wheeler guy, and I want to butt fuck him.
Yeah, then...
All for your son's four-wheeler. Is that your dream, to get butt fucked for a four-wheeler? Is that your dream?
I don't know if that's a thing that people want.
Well, there's at least one guy out there that's like, you know what? I wish I could get butt fucked and then get a four-wheeler for my sons.
So he comes back and...
How long was he gone for? Solid 5 minutes? Like, too long.
Yeah. It was a weird scenario. Which
Where
I
are
didn't
you
like,
standing? In his driveway?
Yeah, in the street. And I
Yeah.
parked across the street for getaway purposes. And
Is your truck locked or unlocked?
well, I
Or did
unlocked
you
it
leave
for
it
fast.
running so you could get out quick?
No,
No, never leave it running. fine. They'll just break the window, jump in, and go.
So he eventually came back, and beyond
Sorry,
all my...
I went really, really far. These pain pills got me fucking right happy.
I was skeptical. All the tells were there. And,
but it ran good, right?
Yeah, right. And then I was like, fuck it. And then I bought it. And then he had a...
Did you pay $1,200?
Hard time getting it in the back of my truck because it gives... yeah, pussy's the rail thin. So then I got it put in my car, or the garage, and I'll never check the VIN number.
Collect
so hopefully I'll...
You can't check because they're gone.
Cross my fingers scenario.
What's that?
I don't know, but anyway, this leads me to my topic. So, what's the chances that my sons actually like doing this shit and enjoy
in his
it?
DNA.
And, yeah, you say that, but
That's
feel
what
like
I was gonna say. I mean, I told him this yesterday. I was being dead serious. I was out to dinner with my family when he texted me, and he sent a picture of the boys sitting on their four-wheelers like side by side. And Max had the right idea. He had like vampire teeth in. I thought that was an excellent touch. And then you said, I can't wait for them to tell me they hate this, so my dreams are crushed. And I was like, nah, man, you're their hero. Like, they're going to want to do what you want to do. So if you want to ride, then they're probably going to want to emulate daddy.
You say that, but there's been lots of examples of dads trying to get their sons to do
Pushing them
something that they want to do. And I was going to ask you, Tuddle, did your dad ever do that to you?
Yeah, I mean, he did. He did a lot. You know, hunting was one of the things he was into. And
did you ever go with him?
Yes, I did. And it was one of the most embarrassing things. My dad, I embarrassed him. It was me and a bunch of his buddies. And I had a deer right in my sight and could not pull the trigger on it and got called the fucking pussy F-word for gays right in front of all of his buddies. And it was the most embarrassing thing.
So you're holding a gun.
Yeah,
the deer's there.
Yeah.
And they're your dad is whispering in your ear, pull the trigger, you pussy F-word.
Yeah.
I can't see me doing that to Tommy or Max when I'm sitting on the four-wheeler and whispering that into the ear. It's a different time. It's the 80s.
But yeah, no, it was. I did embarrass him, and he was kind of upset about it at the time.
Did he do that move where he rips the gun out of your hand and then he kills the deer?
No, it's already gone.
Oh, okay. Missed a chance. Then his friends are.
And he took off his belt and beat me with the
no,
bump.
come on. Didn't he also?
I'm gonna whip your dick into a pussy, you pussy.
He wanted you to go into the construction business.
Yeah,
right?
Welding. That was one of the things that.
You're a good welder.
Yeah,
too.
I was a great welder, but it was just. It just was not my thing, man. Being out there in the summertime was the worst.
Well, I don't think anybody who's a welder is
But some people love
this
it,
is
though.
my thing. It's like, this is my goddamn job.
I'm gonna be a rock star welder.
yeah. It's like, I know how to weld. It's my job. I get paid good money, and then I go home.
But it's hard. I am not a good welder.
Yeah.
But
I am very bad
the thing
at
is like, you would want to get certain welding jobs. Like if you were welding the deck, you could actually do drugs up on top of the roof when nobody was looking. Yeah, so people would spark up a joint and sit there and weld.
And I do feel like welding would be fun high or on any type of drug.
Yeah. Unless you forget to put your mask on.
I mean, like fucking coloring.
You're like, now I got a little bright dot forever.
like coloring is fun when you're high. I can only imagine that welding is really fun.
Like we had these guys, these journeymen that would come in, these old guys from Alabama came in, and they would weld without even mask on. They would just put like suntan lotion on their face. They would sit there and look right at
What's
it.
their eyes,
and
though?
burn their eyes out. But before lunch, they couldn't weld the straight line because they were shaking because they needed their beers, and after lunch they could get way more work done because they would go up to the bar and take down an 8-pack and then come back and weld straight line.
That seems like a better life.
Did he help you get it into the trailer?
The back of my truck.
Yeah, the truck. Is it that heavy or?
Nah. It's
and
not
everything,
bad.
all as well?
Well, I guess so.
Wife wasn't mad at you?
No, I didn't tell her this whole thing. I
Same
told
price
you.
as the other one, so right?
A little cheaper.
So-
They
There
got
you
the
go.
stolen price.
So let me ask you about this. So now, when
Newer,
you-
older, like
It's hard to tell.
about the same. All right.
He estimated years, and I
Did the fact that another kid's name was etched into the four-wheeler deter you at any?
I just in my
Put a piece
mind
of
I said
tape
this
over it?
must be his son's
Now,
name.
are you going to let your kids, your boys, take chances? Because, like, when you were growing up, you probably did a lot of stupid shit that you probably shouldn't have done.
I can't see that happening, Tuds.
He's
He's way more protective of his boys than I think his dad would. We were just talking about this. We were
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, like, well, I mean, you have a theory, and you and I were kind of pontificating about this theory of, like, when our dads wanted us to do the things that they did. Like, for my dad, it would be like Harleys, right? And of course, he wanted me to ride Harleys with him, and I did. You know what I mean? And I enjoyed it. And then for you, it was like whether boating or four-wheel, like being near the ocean or being on a boat
Because
or riding four-wheelers or three-wheelers with your dad. We did those things, right? And we looked forward to doing those things with their dads.
Yes, but I've heard of people, because we talk about this shit all the time. Like, I get people talk to me and they say, like, oh, I did this and I wanted to do this with my sons or my kids, and they're not into it. And,
Now, what about our good friend Justin from Cigar City Brewery?
Yeah.
I know his boy, I want to say a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, ended up getting, was it a dirt bike?
Yeah, four-wheeler, yeah, I think. Yeah, he did the same thing.
I thought his was a single because he ran it into a fence. I saw the video from like Christmas.
Oh, yeah,
remember
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Is
The
he
old-
into it? Because I don't see any videos of him. Like, I'm being honest, and I'm not hating.
I think he went through the same thing, because I
Damn
text him
it.
every once in a while, and he had the dream too,
Yeah.
and his sons are just not into it.
Like mine
What
was surfing with my daughter. I was like, I really wanted her to surf, so I bought her a boogie board. I bought myself a boogie board. We went down to the ocean. Not really. I mean, she did it.
Well, she's so young.
She is young, but she did it because I wanted to do it. We rode some waves off of like a sandbar. But I could tell all she wanted to do is to go back and be with her mom on the beach and make sandcastles. And I'm like, fuck, I want to do that. I want to be out here. I want to ride some waves with you, you know?
What about
due
baseball?
I grew up. I mean, my dad pushed me into baseball, but I loved it, though.
Was your
Yeah,
dad a
yeah,
baseball guy?
No. He coached our teams and stuff, but, you know.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, because I want to get my kids into something.
Now, are you going to let them play football or
If they
with the
want-
CTE and all that stuff, coming out? Because a lot of parents aren't letting their kids play football now because of, being young and causing brain injuries.
It would be if they wanted to do it, like really wanted to do it. I think I'd let them, but it's one of those things I probably won't be suggesting that they do it. Like it's like speaking of head injury, I remember like playing pee wee football, and the coaches telling you. Even at like the 65 pounders, like I don't know how old I was in the 5th grade or whatever, but they would do drills where they'd line you up
And just smash it.
and smash it. And I remember like seeing white light and so like hitting my head, and I was
they
like,
tell you to
dude.
get up.
Yeah. And playing the ant piles and shit. Like I said, different time in the 80s. But I do feel like I never yell at my sons, and especially like Tommy. So anytime I do raise my voice a little bit, he's very affected by it.
Well, how do you raise your voice? Because I don't think I've ever heard you raise your voice.
I know. I'm very.
I don't think I've only heard you raise your voice in anger one time.
Yeah.
And that was on the camping trip when you yelled at those guys, and I believe your insult was, I hope you have a horrible camping trip. I'm like, all right, way to get him, you fucking nerdo. So nice job.
So my son is he gets very concerned anytime an adult raises his voice. In fact, he went to a birthday party the other day, and they did it at like one of these strip mall karate dojos. It's like Kenny Powers or
the Fred Simmons.
Fred Simmons.
Yes.
And so he then the whole like the birthday party they set these up. I guess they do this now, like these karate places where they have birthday parties, and then the sensei or whatever the instructor does like a class with it's like a birthday party
like
package
an introductory
thing.
karate.
Yeah.
And then they probably give you a deal because hopefully they're going to gather some students.
It's that. But when Tommy was there, like as soon as the guy, Bill Simmons or Fred Simmons gets up there and starts telling the kids like, "All right, and then he's like, and then scared the shit out of Tommy, and he didn't want to participate because the guy was doing the stereotypical karate instructor shit with like he's being the sensei. He's being harsh. And so that's when it made me realize like, shit, I'm not. I never raise my voice. I'm not hard on these boys, so I'm making them soft.
But I don't think you want to be, right?
They don't even do anything.
But I don't think, they don't
do anything to warrant me yelling at them. So it never happens. So then when anybody yells at them,
they don't test you because May will test me hard.
They know.
May test me hard. Like if she's not doing something and I want her to do it, unfortunately I have to crack on her sometimes, and I hate doing it, and I have to be the heavy. And I absolutely hate doing it. But like I was talking about this when we were doing the interview with Takara Williams, our comedian. And like yesterday, it's like I'm having to teach Andrea certain things. I don't want that to sound disrespectful. Like Andrea's an amazing mom, but sometimes we call them allowances. The allowances that she gives to me are more than should be. Like I kind of let Maisie just kind of do her thing, and it's my way or the highway. I don't know if that's right or not, but I mean, I just kind of stick to it. Like I don't really have a high level. I'm not screaming at her, but I don't have a high level of tolerance. If you're not doing what I'm saying, there's probably going to be some sort of consequence for that,
But what if they, my kids are pretty well behaved, so there's no.
Yeah, you're really well behaved.
But they don't. But that's the problem. So then there's no situations where I yell at them. So then they're never used to being yelled at. Then it causes them to be. Super sensitive to anybody yelling at them, and I don't want them to grow up fearing being disciplined.
I think they're going to be how they're going to be.
I know.
Like I don't.
Who does the discipline in your house?
No, my wife. I'm a pushover.
We saw a little bit of that.
Max didn't want to go there. I'm like, all right, fine, just do what you want. You're in charge.
We saw a little bit of that earlier today, and I was surprised because I've seen you be not rougher, but I've seen you be more authoritative with him. But this time you were just because you physically you picked him up, you were carrying him, but he was not having it. You put him back, and you're like, all right, well, I'll be in here.
Well, at this point, I'm like, well, I'm picking the path of least resistance. I'm like, I got you. Are we gonna start crying in the office or whatever? Just sit on the couch. Who gives a shit? All right, let's take a quick break.
Let's do it.
And when we get back, I believe Tuddles has some stories we'll talk about.
Yes.
Butler actually gave me some stories too that
Butler.
I wanted to mention. And because
Butler's the funniest, man. Like some of the things you do, and you're older than Tom, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, no, I'm not trying to say that to blow up your spot, but to me, I'm
fine.
just like, oh my God, what the fuck is this guy doing? We got new music. This is a UK band. They're really, really quirky and weird. The name of the band is Feet, and the name of the album that they just released is their debut album. It's called What's Inside Is More Than Just Ham. That's the name of the album. And the song you're going to hear is called Add Blue. Tell me if you recognize what this sounds like. Yeah, right? I think they're making fun of that. So enjoy this, and we'll be right back with more on Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. 1-844-TOMNDAN if you want to give us a call. There you go. Brand new Lagwagon off of their brand new album entitled Railer. You heard Dangerous Animal. Welcome back to Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom. I heard that album was good as hell.
Oh, yeah. It's really good. They did thank you, Tactical Hat. That's super nice of you. Appreciate the cheer. It's weird. They worked on this album like it was like in a faster duration.
Yeah.
So like their last album that came out in 2014, I loved it. It was called Hang. It's one of my favorites, but it's really well put together and produced. This is a little more rough around the edges, and like you can tell that it's not quite as cohesive. So it has that same energy level of like back in the day when they were starting out.
Yeah,
These guys have been doing it for fucking 30 years.
I know.
Like when you think about it, and
Ridiculous.
I personally believe, and I think Tony Rage agrees with me. I think Lagwagon is one of those bands. I can't necessarily say the same for NoFX because their last couple albums have been. I really like Coaster. I think that's a phenomenal album.
Yeah.
But Lagwagon's one of those bands I think it's just gotten better. Mm-hmm. Like it seems like that Joey Cape has no end to like how good
his songwriting.
Yeah, I mean he's just even his acoustic stuff is really really good. But anyway, check out that album. One of my pick of the week. One of my pick of the week suggestions.
Awesome. Real quick, we got a little meetup going on at Porky's Barbecue next Friday, October 25th. I know Tony is bringing out a bunch of giveaways to Porky's.
Yes.
So check out our events page on our app, and it's Porky's Barbecue.
I may have
next
to head
Friday.
out.
Yeah, do it.
Eat
Do
some
it.
delicious food.
Get some barbecue.
You know, I'll give Tony a bunch of stuff that we have left over from our 10-year. So if you didn't get it at the 10-year, maybe you can get one of those Tom and Dan fans and some stickers. So anyway, he'll be giving away a bunch of stuff.
You know what's fucked up? My 10-year anniversary shirt, the black one that I have.
Yeah.
I had it laying on the floor because when I came home from, you come home from those events, you're super fucking tired. So I took it off. I threw it on the ground. Well, Caesar is like older now, and he likes making these like nests or like patches. Sorry, I farted. Apologies. So Caesar's making a nest on the floor. It just scared the shit out of me too. He's making a nest on the floor, and he used his little paws and the liner on the bottom of my shirt. He tore all the string out of it, so he fucking ruined my shirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he clawed at it, like making a patch, and he like ripped the whole bottom hem.
Oh, that sucks. Those
Yeah,
are sold out
I know
too,
they're
man.
gone, and I'm like, I was mad as fuck. I'm like, you ruined. Thankfully, I still have the red one, but I was like, God damn it! But
what if you ended your story with? Then I stomped him to death. Oh my god! I'm like, ah, shit! Don't put that.
Then I picked up a dictionary and I whacked him flat.
Let's.
You want to do the toast?
Yeah, let's do the toast.
All right, Butler. Here is your reverb. I'll go ahead and pump this up for you.
Great. Drink alcohol in front of an
I know,
alcohol.
right?
I'm sorry.
Okay, put the camera.
We
on.
did discuss that. We're like, let's put it in Mountain Dew.
Give him a double shot.
All right, so cheers to friends that have gone away. May we never go to hell, but forever be on our way.
Come on. Well, hold on. He did it friend. What the fuck is wrong with no? Do it again and do it right.
Oh, you got this head?
Cheers to friends that have gone away. May we never go to hell, but forever be on our way. Rock and roll 90210.
There it is. Okay, let me get my shot here. Okay.
Butler's been spooked by the backlash.
Oh, what is that? Cool.
That's Jameson. That's some good old Jameson right there.
May we always. God is great. God is good. Let us thank Him. All right, you want to do some news?
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't really have a theme song for Tudd, so let's just use this one. It's the ethereal song.
Tuddle's News, brought to you by KDK Accountancy Corporation.
Yes.
He's our accountant, Bernie, and he handles this business accounting, all of our personal accounting, and he's a financial advisor. So if you want a 2-in-1 for your finances, use KDK Accountancy Corporation, OrlandoCPA.net. Great for small businesses. Great for if you have IRS problems, because he can handle it all.
Yes.
And very trustworthy, and we've been using it for years now, and it's one of the best things we've done for our business. All right. Tuddle, what do we got first?
All right. Well, I love talking about these stories about drugs being found in, like, peculiarly, places that you wouldn't think to find them. Like, have you ever thought about that, though? Like, what would you do if you found a shit pile full of drugs?
I have.
I've had family members who have
being
found,
down in Miami.
Yes,
Yeah.
multiple times. So there's two things. One time, my pop-up found a big bale of weed out in the Everglades because he had a place out in the Everglades. So he found it and then decided to burn it, much to the dismay of my dad and all his friends who were yelling at him, please don't burn it. He even got offers. My papa, my papa was everything. Every drug was dope to him. Like marijuana was dope. Heroin was the same class. So he was very against it and wanted to, burn it. He even said people offered him like, listen, just leave it outside and you'll find a bag of money to replace it. And then, but nope. Burned it all, and then my wife's uncle found a square grouper, which was a bale of cocaine.
Have you ever watched that documentary that Billy Corben did called Square Grouper?
Yes, yeah, it's good.
And it was. He's done a lot of great documentaries lately, but a lot of them involving South Florida and stuff, and that was one of the documentaries he did.
So if anybody grew up in Miami in the 70s and 80s, they at least knew someone in the drug business or trafficking. Yeah. Like, it was so prevalent, it's insane. Like, if you go down, like, Everglades City, you'll see, like, big-ass houses and shit. Like, they're like, this doesn't belong out here. It's like all drug money.
And a lot of that didn't even shake out, right? Like, it didn't, it's like it happened and it wasn't.
Oh, like, they buried.
Yeah, like, I mean, like.
There's probably still millions buried in, like, the Everglades. There's probably, you know how many tons of drugs are probably out there just because they were bringing in so much shit. Anyway, when my wife's uncle found the cocaine, he called the Coast Guard to report it. And then when the Coast Guard came, they didn't believe his story and thought it was, and then ripped his boat apart.
Oh,
and
so they thought he was like saying that to like save face.
And then he was like, why would I call you guys if I was doing this? And then they searched his whole boat and were dickheads about it. And then he screamed, never again.
Don't you just not get involved because aren't you worried that like the drug dealers are going to come trying to look for their stuff as well too?
Or you do like that. There's that one documentary of the guy who heard like this tall tale of where a bunch of cocaine was buried in I think in Puerto Rico or wherever. And it was a documentary I watched. I forgot what it was called, but because here's the thing: like if you found let's say a brick of cocaine. Like, you could make one call to your sketchiest friend and find out probably how much it's worth. And it's like, if you are holding a brick of cocaine that's worth like $200,000, it's hard to give that away. Well, to move it, but it's like hard to then just say, fuck it. Like $200,000, they could change a lot of people's lives.
You have to have the right kind of people, I would imagine, to do that. But wouldn't it would behoove you to only take a little bit, right, and not get greedy.
Yeah. You just sell it for $100,000, yeah.
Or no, not even take it all. I'm saying, like, if you were worried about like what Tuddle's saying, you're worried about them coming back for it. Okay, then leave it. Take enough where you think you can make through the conversion rate of your sketchiest friend, make $50,000. And just be like, look, I'm not gonna get greedy on this. I'm gonna take enough to make $50,000 and just call it a happy accident.
You sell the whole bundle for $50,000 to your buddy. You just kind of wipe off the rest.
Well, I wouldn't want to get rid of all of it in case they came. I'd rather them come and there at least
they're
going to
cut your legs off either way if you took a little bit.
Well, in this story, nearly 50 pounds of cocaine were found stashed in boxes of oranges in Port Everglades. The boxes arrived from the Dominican Republic over the weekend. U.S. Customs and Border Protection offers working at the port there was something off. They examined the containers, and the canines alerted to it. So they were shipping the drugs in through oranges.
The other one was hair bows. Do you see that one?
The lady, gummies?
No, this not Haribo, not Haribos, but the lady was fashioning little bags of heroin.
Oh yeah, she was putting them in.
Yeah, she was putting them in hair bows and then putting them in her hair, and then just no big deal because they're not, they're not going to be sniffing your hair.
Yeah, they seized nearly a total of 46.5 pounds of cocaine.
Dude, I've heard that these drug smugglers will intentionally wrap themselves out to get caught in like a shipment because they know that if they find a big a shipment of cocaine or whatever, then they're kind of distracted by that one
and then the sub goes by
and then they just start flood the market. They're like go. Yeah, so they'll literally
so they'll offer up so you could make a package.
Tell them themselves
it's not your best shit. you could cut it with something, right? To bring the value down.
Yeah, and then when they do the big bust,
wow.
then they're all proud of themselves, and all the border agents, they take the picture. You know, they always do they're holding the AK and they're 1 foot on bales of.
They lay all the guns out. Yeah.
And they're like, look what we got. Meanwhile, while they're busy doing all this shit, that's when all the other shit is being
boats
smuggled in.
And fucking planes coming through.
I like how we believe we got it. We got all the cocaine now. It's in the oranges, and meanwhile, I'm sure every port has tons and tons of it being smuggled.
Now, have you ever seen these homemade subs that they make?
I have.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We talked to Jive Turkey on our Twitch feed about these guys and the fact that they'll get all these old Soviet
stuff.
Yeah, and they can't even really go under the water.
No, they're like right on the.
It's like the Monitor
top.
and Merrimack. Yeah, they sit right on top of the water.
Yeah, and
I'm surprised they don't have I'm surprised nobody with enough money has actually just purchased a brand new sub. Because you can buy them.
Drug dealers got enough money.
Well, the problem is,
and you got a paper trail.
Yeah. Anybody selling like a sub that is actually working and stuff, I'm sure they have to have some sort of documentation.
The bill of sale will give it away. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the Craigslist deal.
Like Submarine.
Do you have a title? Nope. All right, no problem.
But Submarine is one of the.
You did.
It's one of the only vehicles where it's so specialized that they're hard to get. Right? You can get planes. You can get helicopters.
Yeah, you would think so.
You can get a fucking one wheel.
Remember, tanks were hard to get.
Tanks are hard to get too. I put it in the same category. I mean, I guess there is no recreational use for submarines, even though they do have those. Who would
have thought weapons of war would have been harder to get?
You know what I said was cool, but I'm going to rescind that and say it's not cool. Is the fucking dolphin jumping submarine? That's fucking stupid. Yeah, I remember. Hold on, I remember saying on this program, "Whoa, that's awesome! I'd ride that." You know what? Fuck it. I don't even want to ride that anymore. It's not fucking cool anymore. It's fucking dumb. And anybody that has one, fuck you. It's fucking stupid. You're fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's cool for 15 minutes.
No, not even. I don't even think. I think it's cool for one jump, and then you're like, "Fuck, that beat me up." Can we just go to Can I just go to the seafood restaurant and have a cold beer?
Herniated disc in that thing.
Yeah, fuck that thing. It's dumb. You know, all it can do is jump, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can just go straight at it. Can you? You have to keep jumping.
Tuddle, do you have someone that you know that if you found a duffel bag full of bricks of cocaine, right?
Yeah.
That you would call, they could probably figure out how to.
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah, I figued. Yeah, and in all your travels, you've come across.
Not in one lump sum. You know, we could offload a little bit here.
Like a
and there.
bag at a time. That seems too long. You get a one lump sum.
One 8-ball at a time.
Yeah. That's how you get caught. It's too long.
A long time.
Yeah. You got to get rid of it one bundle, and hopefully. Here's my concern is the guy sketchy enough that would buy that much cocaine from you probably knows that you have no business having that cocaine and that this is your first time doing anything like this.
And they're going to take it.
And then just steal it from you, right? You're not a hardened criminal. You're not scary.
No, yeah, you got to keep this one kind of close. Yeah.
Could you? They're like Tom Van from The Thing. He's got that much cocaine. He's gonna sell it. Nah, we're killing this motherfucker.
Yeah.
He found it and he's trying to.
We're gonna at least shoot him in his leg.
Yeah, and he'll give up fast.
Yeah, you'd have to be really careful. You'd have to be really careful who you say. Who you tell.
It's
why you have that.
Yeah. You can't. It's no. That's a desperate man's
I've been.
Yeah.
I mean, the big drug over in Tampa, Pasco County area is the pain pills. Like that.
Pain pills. Yeah,
that's the hardcore thing. Like, I mean,
that's big. Yeah, that's the everybody's on the pain pills.
That's Florida.
Although I feel
I'm on them right now.
I feel like that's cracking down on that. Like the less.
Yeah.
See, because you can't.
I haven't been palmed one in fucking years.
Yeah. That's when you knew the height when all the listeners are had all
only
the pain
at
pills.
the peak. I would get these little
5 milligram,
well,
325.
No, it was like but it was like a little, like a piece of saran wrap with like 2 or 3 in it with a perfectly tied little knot, and you get palm that, and I'd be like, and I just hand them to my wife. I'd be like, look these up.
That wasn't saran wrap. That was the
cigarette
pack.
You burn the top of it. Yeah.
Number one pain pill holder of all.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it's real sketchy if you had pillid.com on your favorites on your desktop.
Oh yeah, I had it in my history for a while.
Yeah, like, what is this? Acetaminophen, fuck!
And they got the new ones now where you can just put the pill in front of your camera
and take a picture.
It'll read it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do that with plants now. Have you seen that app where you can take a picture of a plant and it'll be like, it's this? You can do it with pills.
Oh, really?
You just take a picture of the pill.
I feel like the pill one's more popular.
It is, yeah. The plant ones are
What kind of
fucking nerds.
begonias?
But they'll only write you like 3 days at a time now. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's-
because everybody's dying and it's everybody's
Yeah, it's not
addicted.
good.
It's
Unless like the time I got the cough medicine, they gave me a jug.
Oh, a big gallon jug of.
I mean, it wasn't a gallon. It was like 2 liters. I mean, it was like as big as the jumbo Fuji water.
I still can't believe the pharmacist actually handed that over to you.
Yeah.
By the way,
It came through the chute. You know the chute
little bank teller
like
thing?
the bank teller thing. They
put the whole
they
jug
put the whole jug in there inside the fucking canister.
It's like,
it's like funk, and then funk, it comes back, and then I'm like, God, I'm like getting it. I'm like, this shit's heavy, and I get it, and my ID and my Visa card are there, and then inside there's a white jug of fucking codeine.
was there a robbery going on? And they just started fucking with it.
Hey dog, give him the jug.
Like, what? I don't see this happening.
I just got your prescription on the table. And
So
he
what
sends
was
the wrong
it?
thing.
What
He's
was it?
like, "Uh-oh."
Cough syrup?
Yeah.
Now, I mean, what kind of buzz do you get off
It was
of that?
the one with
Codeine.
With
It's the opiate cough syrup.
Yeah. Oh, it's
lean.
But wait, I've never
lean.
understood that. Like, how is giving somebody opiate is supposed to help with like your cough?
It's
look,
a
it
little bit of
just
opiate
it
helps
wants you to be
everything.
high.
Look,
Like,
I'm
what do you
just gonna
got?
be-
Flu, cough,
Yeah, what
hurt
do you
toe,
need?
whatever,
Yeah.
headache? They're giving their own
Yeah.
codeine.
It helps anything. You can't get an erection, take this fucking opiate. You'll be fine. You know, like.
It was a different time. It was 5.5 years ago.
And that shit, I swear to God, you would take one dose of it, and you'd be like, I'm a king,
Yeah.
you know, because it had like caffeine in it. Like it was, so good.
Now, does it back you up the same way as like regular pain pills?
Yeah, you get the crackly
That's
Death
the same
Valley
thing.
shits.
Yeah.
Where your shits come out and you can see the road maps in them because there's no water in your body whatsoever. You're dying.
All right, next story. W.
Okay, all right. Norwegians are told to pee in the shower to save water. This is what they're doing now.
Do you pee in the shower?
Yes, I do.
My new
sometimes.
thing now is to pee on my daughter's Barbies.
That'll teach her.
Well,
feel like this
here's
is,
the way I see it. It's a little bit of payback that she doesn't know about. It's
Okay.
basically a variation of when you and I used to squirt one little bit of pee-pee in the corner of Clear Channel.
Yeah.
It's the same idea.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
like, she has to play with those Barbies. Sometimes she's a pain in the ass. If I piss in their hair, she doesn't know about it, but I know about it when I go to sleep.
Yeah, Frode Holt of the Water and Sewer Agency in Oslo appeared on Norwegian state television NRK to raise awareness to the fact that Norway uses almost double the amount of water used in Denmark. I can't believe they would do a study like that. Do not run the water when you brush your teeth. Only wash with filled washing machines. Only buy washing machines that don't use much water. Use a pot when you're using the water to plant in your gardens, and pee in the shower in the morning, Holt said.
I feel like.
So are you going to save that much? I mean, flushing the toilet really doesn't seem like... I mean, do you flush the toilet every time you take a piss?
I don't.
That's at least 1.5 gallons every time you pee.
No, I don't. And my wife's done this, and it started when Maisie was an infant because you would flush and it would wake her up, you know? And same reason we got the precision garage door. Like, there are a lot of things that will wake an infant up. But now I've just gotten to the point where, like, I'll go to the bathroom, and in the morning, I mean, you look in there in the morning, and it's like... you know, all the toilet paper, 8 different kinds of piss. You know, there's no doo-doo.
gross.
There's no doo-doo in there.
It's pee-pee stew.
when I
It
was-
is pee-pee stew. I don't like peeing on other people's pee, and my wife
Yeah.
has kind of trained me to do that.
Yeah.
I don't like
Stinks.
sitting on the seat when it's hot.
One of my
I don't
fa-
like lifting the seat and seeing a clot that swung on.
One of
Come
my
on,
favorite
cough.
one of my
God
favorite
damn it.
things
It happens.
one of my favorite things to do when I was married, I would go into the bathroom after my wife and she would be on her period, and I would try to break apart the blood clots
Oh,
with
come
my
on.
urine stream.
God damn it.
And it was just like a little game, you know, because when they explode,
potty shots.
Yeah. So
It's like the Saddam Hussein toilet paper. It's no different than that. Try to pee a hole in his face.
yeah, blood clot in the
Come on.
toilet.
It's oh,
Now,
gross.
I have to bring something up. I wasn't going to bring it up, but since we've gone to this area of the show, somebody's taking deuces in the bathroom, flushing, and then leaving a little nugget in the bottom. Who was it?
Well, I don't know.
Somebody's not double flushing, and I think it's Butler.
I double and triple flush. I waste all the water.
There was a nugget in the bottom, and I peed in it, and when I flushed, it exploded, and I saw the
Was it
explosion.
today?
Yeah, it was today.
I did not poop today.
And who
Neither.
pooped?
That wasn't me.
It was you.
Oh,
You know what? That's your last beer. Pack your shit. You're going to get the fuck out of here.
You got some balls. You go, like, I'd be too nervous. Like, I go to my favorite podcast studio. The last thing I'm doing is shitting in it. Like, really? This guy's got some fucking confidence.
They don't give a fuck.
I know. Like, that's, I don't have enough confidence to shit in, like, new places that, especially, like, I'm gonna come and watch my show.
This is great.
Yeah. Like, if I had to shit, I'd be like, hold it, walk to Publix, something. Nope, this motherfucker's like a shit right there. Leave the nugget. One flush. Won't even care.
Yeah. And it's a little lighter than it should be. You might want to check your pancreas.
Yeah.
He's got the sweet beans. I thought Tom was in there.
Yeah, I thought it was Tom too. You have a sweet
I was like,
smell.
God damn it, Tom got him.
Yeah, you have a sweet. You're obviously an alcoholic because your shit smell like sweet beans.
Also, do you think it's like Norway, Sweden is like they're so green and they're so like efficient when it comes to recycling and
hiding money,
renewable energy, and so do you think they got to a point where they just need things to be like? Do they really have like a water crisis, or are they just trying to tell people to save water?
I think they're probably just being proactive, right?
Because every time my wife, mentions to me about recycling, which we recycle at home and all stuff.
Yeah, but isn't that horseshit? Doesn't most of that go in the landfill anyway?
I don't know.
Because that's why I don't recycle anymore.
I just burn my trash.
Where do you burn it?
Of course, my neighbor's yard.
Good man.
Like I'm just
then piss on it to put out the embers.
She'll be
green.
She'll be picking out like a black bean can out of the bottom of the trash. She's like, "This is recycle." I'm like, "Listen, the one."
Oh, then you got to take the label off. You got to throw the label away. Then you got to rinse it out. No, fuck all of that.
I'm like, China is killing their. There's
it's plastic land. Yeah, they have an island made of old computer keys.
I'm like, this green bean can. They
do.
Goddamn difference.
You guys have seen that fucking documentary? There's an island made of old computer parts. It's old computer keyboards. You could fucking build a house on it.
I don't know.
So you guys are all mad about like us not recycling. We're making land, and that's impressive.
So, next story.
Okay. Have you guys seen the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood yet?
I think Tom has.
No, I haven't seen it yet. I've been like now it's gone to the point where I'm waiting for it to come out
streaming
on
service.
I may have seen a bootleg version of it.
No, really.
Bits and pieces. Yeah.
The big problem is that they're not going to be releasing it in China now over the way that Bruce Lee was portrayed in the movie, being this egotistical guy.
Even Bruce Lee's family's pissed as fuck about that.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, because in the movie, spoiler alert, he's out there talking a lot of shit and like, I can beat anybody, my hands are deadly weapons, I can kill you.
But it's a caricature. Well, maybe a little bit, but I
they
think
made him look like a real
kind of a dickhead.
A dickhead.
Oh, okay.
And Brad
he
Pitt,
wasn't that way.
No. He was very modest.
Well, did they call him Bruce Lee? Or
He was Bruce Lee.
But again, you got to understand, it's a caricature. It'd be like, it's no different than any other movie where you have a character that's supposed to portray somebody of real life, and it's just maybe an exaggerated or characterized version of that. And I think that's kind of Quentin Tarantino's argument. But the Lee family was like really fucking mad about this.
Yeah, the way they made him look.
And I'm kind of like, well, don't you? Well, again, not my family, it's not my dad.
Yeah,
if somebody put a version, don't I kind of do it on the show?
Yeah,
my dad wasn't as grandiose, and the way that he talks was similar to that, but I pump it up. So, in effect, I'm kind of Bruce Lee-ing it, aren't I?
Yeah.
So, I guess my mom could be mad about that, but she laughs at it because she has a good sense of humor and understands that I am exaggerating the idea of what my dad used to be. Like he wasn't always yelling, "God damn it!" The things that came out of his mouth were very rarely, even pseudo of that time racist or anything. But we exaggerate those. Yeah, you do it with your dad.
Oh yeah.
And family members.
If you're doing a caricature of a real life human being, can you get in trouble or get sued? If it's a movie, it's not like a documentary.
Does it defame Bruce Lee in any way?
Well, he's also famous, so it's really, really difficult to bring any sort of defamation to people that are entertainers or famous people. Like they've made that hard.
They made him a dick, but they didn't make him a rapist.
Yeah, exactly. You would have to do something over the top for you to be liable. Like if you just portray some guy like a dick and you're like, hey, this is how I heard he's whatever it is, then you're not gonna have any case. But you will lose all that sweet China money.
Yeah, but he,
like the NBA is doing right now.
Yeah, but he got his ass kicked in the movie by Brad Pitt, so they made him look like a real pussy at the same time too, like he was talking a lot of shit.
Yeah, I saw that part. So,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I can see where it's like it's not necessarily like anything in there is good.
Yeah.
You
It's
know.
like he got beat up, and then.
But I don't
the
necessarily
dickhead-
see it as being like super bad either. I mean, I think you got to kind of take it as a work of
But
fiction.
also,
like Hitler gets his head blown off in Inglourious Bastards.
and that didn't happen. But like, for example, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it was about the Manson family murders, and they did not follow the script of how Charles Manson and everything. Like, it was a completely different ending of how things really went down.
Sorry,
So-
spoiler alert. Right? It's been out.
Yeah, but but it's a movie, like
Right, and that's my point. Is it's a work of fiction, you know. So
I'm surprised nowadays that they, me and Daniel talked about this a lot. And you're probably familiar with it, Tuddle, because you know movies. But now, like the new business model is to, put out movies, like superhero movies, that are easily understood by everybody in every culture or globally.
They're relatable. You can translate it, easily. They're unoffensive. There's not any imagery in there that would be offensive to any culture, really, because you're creating your own culture.
So there's a huge market globally for movies now, and the business model is like, hey, release this worldwide and make 1.2 billion instead of the 100 millions, and then so I'm even surprised that the studio, I guess Quentin Tarantino, they're not gonna like make him change anything because he's Quentin Tarantino, but.
He had a
usually
quote.
they don't do anything bad or make like anything Chinese look bad because they're afraid that it'll get left out of the Chinese market.
He did a few things, and this sort of relates to what you're talking about with the Chinese market, but not really. I know he met with the Tate family because Sharon Tate's sister, I believe, is extremely worried about how the actual murder would be portrayed. And then Quentin Tarantino met with her, and then she was like, "Oh, I was definitely put at ease by talking to him," that sort of thing. So he did sort of make concessions. It's not like he didn't have to do that.
So did they not change it for theatrical release in China? Like, I mean, this is about the DVD release, right?
No, this is the theatrical release. It has no, it has not been
Really?
released.
Normally
in
Is
they
that
China.
go-
much of a delay?
Yeah.
But maybe because of this particular
Maybe because
reason.
of that, okay.
Yeah, you don't
It's
even
supposed
know.
to come out in China on October 25th.
I think that's the same date as almost the DVD release to us,
Interesting.
which is weird.
Well, they.
You know what's funny is about that movie? I heard nothing good about it. Not one fucking thing.
I went
But the
into it with
Joker,
high
I
hopes.
heard everything good
Oh,
about.
you've not
like
seen
a-
it yet?
No.
Oh, dude,
I heard it's
is
phenomenal.
One of the best films of the year, and
Some people are saying one of the best comic book movies. Now, this is coming from an anti-comic book person, so not a Juan, not anybody that's in the BDM, geeks group, something like that. So I'll just preface that because a lot of those guys, and I'm with them because
But it's not a comic book movie, though.
But a lot of people are saying it made me okay. Here's what I'm hearing from non-comic book guys. That movie makes them want to read comic books.
Yes, it does. But it's more about the state of mental health right now more than anything, of how people can be pushed to the edge and go into a direction. And it just the portrayal, the laugh. I mean, he lost so much weight for this movie. Like,
Yeah. I've heard everybody told me like, hey, you got to go see this more than any other movie that it's come out recently.
Yeah, I heard that everybody's really good in
and
it
it's
too.
realistic for a comic book movie. A lot of stuff you have to,
Suspend disbelief
yeah,
a little
suspend
bit.
disbelief, but it was like real. Like everything that happened in it, you could see happening.
Who do you think did it better, Heath Ledger?
Okay, I'll say this. Heath Ledger's Joker was more cartoonish comic book because it was a superhero movie. This one was more real.
Okay.
So it's
different.
So he's more terrifying. I
Yes.
would imagine.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll say that Joaquin Phoenix, Joker's original, ego is Arthur Fleck. That's who he is before the Joker. That's his name. Joaquin plays a better Arthur Fleck than what.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Then the Joker, because it's a transformation, right?
Yes, yeah. So Heath Ledger's Joker was better, but Joaquin's Arthur Fleck was better. You never got to see the transformation from Arthur Fleck to the Joker character in Heath Ledger's movie.
How much did it do well in theaters? Like,
Yeah. It was number
killed
1
it
2
so
weeks
far.
in a row.
Okay, yeah.
But it was such a. I mean, the budget on it was so low. I mean, there was really no special effects or anything.
It's
like
not
that.
a grandiose superhero movie.
But
But Todd Phillips is a huge director, though.
But
Yeah.
he went from comedy.
Yeah, he's the
into
Hangover guy.
From such a
He's also
dark
a fish documentary guy too.
from it's a
Weird enough,
really
gotta throw that
really
out there.
dark movie. Like it's graphic. The killings are very realistic and brutal.
Remember when Joaquin Phoenix did that weird documentary about him becoming a rapper? And
Yeah.
he was on
David Letterman.
Yeah,
David
with
Letterman.
Casey Affleck, right? Casey
Yeah.
Affleck's the one that put that thing together.
Well-
I remember watching that too. That was bizarre.
Remember, and then they promoted it as if it was real, and they tried to
but
like
it never was.
yeah, and it never was. But
It was
then
all a work.
But I feel like then no one really cared. Like it was weird. It was like all of a sudden the stories were like, "Hey, Joaquin Phoenix is doing some bizarre shit on David Letterman." Like, and then everybody's like, well, "That's weird." And then the documentary came out. It's like, "Oh, this
it's like
is all
him with 2 hookers smoking cigarettes in a bed.
Yeah, and then I feel
weird.
like all that did to Joaquin Phoenix is everybody just remembers that he went through a crazy, like no one remembers
Time.
the fact that it was like a put on documentary showing how good of an actor he is. Everybody's like, oh yeah, didn't he go crazy, want to become a rapper? Like you're like, no, like
Well, nobody wants to investigate the truth.
Exactly,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Everybody just wants to take it at face value and then move on. which
But
is
I,
sad.
he's such a method actor. I even read that, he found out what prescriptions his character were taking, his mental meds and stuff like that. And he actually took those same meds to be able to feel what the side effects were so he could get into character.
I'm virtually certain that's
a
not how
little-
medication
yeah.
works.
Yeah,
If you don't need
you're
like-
gonna give yourself a chemical imbalance,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's crazy.
Also, if you're a really good actor, do you have to take the medication? Like, it was like
I mean,
just,
maybe if you
just
want
pretend,
it to be easier,
Yeah.
yeah, you could read the side effects and be like, okay, I'm gonna, my eyes are gonna twitch. I'm like,
Yeah. It's like,
yeah, I got you.
It's like method acting.
No,
It's all like,
no, Tom.
Just act like you're on the medication. You don't have to take it. This is probably not good.
Maybe it's easier though. You take the medication and then you're like, oh, I'm really acting great.
And while we're on movies, I went and saw Zombieland 2 last night.
Oh, yeah.
And it was very disappointing compared
I
to
saw-
the first one. They waited way too
Too long,
long.
yeah.
Anytime there's like 5 years. in
No,
between.
it was 10.
Are we zombied
Oh my
out?
gosh.
I mean, this should be the nail in the proverbial zombie coffin, right?
I don't think we're zombied out. It just
I'm out of it, man.
I just like,
Walking Dead, then the other one that was like Walking Dead on boats.
the premise of
Carl,
zombies is I'm
Carl
still in,
fucking sucks.
Yeah, Walking Dead got fucked out, but the Zombieland 2, when I watched the trailers, I was excited. I've been excited. I like Zombieland
Is there
1.
nudity in it?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
You know what? Better than the first one.
Zombie titties.
I don't want to see zombie titties.
It seems like you try too hard. You got what is it, Luke Wilson in there?
Yeah.
Is that like-
But it
it's
was
like,
the same. It was the same jokes in the first one, but they had a lot of callbacks to the first movie, and it was like.
This screams payday, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Everybody's just like, all right, we want to make a couple million. All right, let's go.
And they
Is
waited.
is there
Who
an
gives a
ending
shit?
at all that without giving it away? And I know
Yeah.
you won't because I know you covet that sort of thing. But like, is the ending at all anything where it left it open for another
Yes,
one?
yeah.
Yeah, see, that's unfortunate.
Well,
The first one though, I remember being completely enamored with the first one. Like I remember thinking, "Oh, shit,
maybe
this is
one of the greatest
amazing.
cameos ever in a movie
I
of all
think-
time.
Yeah. And even now, I don't even like talking about it because I know there's some people that haven't seen it. But yeah, if you haven't
But
seen
you
the
would have to
original-
say that's one of the best cameo
Without a doubt.
appearance.
Yeah.
appearance
Well,
in the
I
movie.
didn't hear anything about it beforehand,
And
so
then when you
it
saw it-
happened, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
and I always like it. I like going into movies like that. Like I went into the Sixth Sense, Sixth Sense,
yeah.
rather, without ever knowing anything about it.
Well,
I went with Jeff Howe, our friend Jeff Howe. Jeff invited me to go. I went with Jeff Howe and Jim Colbert,
yeah.
and
I remember hearing the story.
and I went, and I'm like, I don't even know what's happening. It literally melted my face.
is that when you guys had beer bottles and one rolled down the thing and it hit every chair on the way down, going ding, ding, ding?
could have been?
Yeah.
2 old men and a baby.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you motherfucker!
Now you want to know another movie that
really funny.
another movie that I went into completely not knowing anything about, and it took a big turn was the movie Dusk Till Dawn.
I love that movie.
Like I thought it was this big gangster movie, like a heist, and they kidnapped, and the next thing I was like, fucking Selma Hayek's turning into a vampire and fucking biting somebody's head off.
Doesn't hold up, by the way. Rewatch that, yeah.
Cheech Marin, and when he's like, "Look at that pussy,"
we got apple pie pussy.
It's nothing. I am finding that nothing holds up, and I'm
No, it does
disappointed
not.
by everything. So that's why I only watch QVC and Live PD. I only watch shows that have initials.
And
QVC, Live PD, and now I'm watching. Like last night, you want to know what I watched? And I know this just drives you crazy. I watched A Down Home Christmas with David Venable on QVC.
What is that?
And he was outlining all the new Christmas decoration products that are on the market. I saved over $299 on a very slim fit decorating Christmas tree, 9 foot. 9 foot. God damn.
one of the,
Pre-lit.
another movie that I saw that
Bright white LED.
that doesn't hold up, that they took way too much time was did you guys watch Breaking Bad at all or no?
El Camino?
Yeah, El
Yes,
Camino
yeah.
came out, and Todd, the crazy kid
Yes.
from
Crazy
Friday
Nazi
Night
guy, yeah.
Lights. He's got a big beer gut now, and I'm like, he was skinny the last time we saw him, and it's like they just waited way too long. Everybody got fat.
It's hard to keep the continuity when you do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The distance.
And
the
I-
time span.
And here's the thing: I'm not going to give away any spoilers because I know it's still new. But I did watch it, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is the El Camino was out."
What did you think? Because I know Breaking Bad for you was like a literally appointment setting.
Yeah, me and my
Probably
wife liked it.
one of your
yeah.
best shows of all time, right?
Yeah, I mean series.
You
by-
guys
by far,
dedicated
yeah.
yourself to it. You liked it more than Game of Thrones, right?
When at the time, yeah. Although now I appreciate Game of Thrones more than Breaking Bad.
Gotcha.
But at the time, Breaking Bad was really cool, and we liked it a lot. My gripe with El Camino is, I don't see that there was any demand for this movie, and the fact that at the end of Breaking Bad, it basically wrapped it up for me. Like,
Lemon Sweetie just said what you said in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. I don't think I needed to know what happened to Jesse.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Jesse Pinkman, here's the thing. Spoiler alert for the Breaking Bad movie. Jesse Pinkman gets away, breaks through the fence, drives away, and then, I assumed he got away. And not at one point did me and my wife like, what's going to happen to Jesse Pinkman? What if how is he going to get away? I was like, oh, he got away. And that was it. And it was done.
Yeah, that was kind of the ending that you needed to add more on. It's almost like putting too much white sauce on my Kobe. I didn't need it, man.
I
was
didn't
already
hate the
covered.
movie though. It wasn't bad.
I haven't seen El Camino
It was
yet.
unneeded. It was like
I agree.
And I'm the only one in my family that watched Breaking Bad. I'd usually do
Now-
it at the old studio. I would catch a couple
Now, do you-
episodes while I was editing or something.
Now, do you think that they left it open at the end of El Camino, if they wanted to do something?
I don't
Or
see.
do you think they would just be pushing it too much?
I think majority of people probably thought like we all did, where everybody's like, well, this isn't really not needed. Good for I forgot the
Aaron
actor.
Paul.
Aaron Paul, he made some money, and all the other people associated with Breaking Bad, got a little paycheck. Good for them. I just didn't see a need. In no time I ever wondered whatever happened to Jesse Pinkman.
And
How did he get away?
It didn't get as much pop on my social media, at least in my circles with friends like you guys. It didn't get as big a pop as even Bird Box did. Bird Box to me was a phenomenon of oh my God, big name actress, Netflix movie, huge. This was just kind of to me, this kind of felt like the Star Wars Christmas special, but in a weird way. It was you know what I mean? It was we're putting it out there. It's on Netflix. Watch it if you want to. Don't watch it if you don't want to. It's either going to help or hurt the actual show. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think Bird Box got a lot of extra publicity just from the memes, jokes.
Yeah, the challenge.
the meme
100%.
jokes. So of Sandra Bullock in a blindfold and every single meme on the social media. I wonder if they're going to start taking that into account when they market movies. What could the internet make memes
go
out
viral.
of? Go viral.
Yeah.
Because Bird Box is a perfect example. Not that good of a movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it. A hunk of shit
I
kind
saw
of.
it.
But
Yeah, not good.
But the memes itself probably sold what do you think? 1 million more people to
Yeah.
download that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just because so many people were making fun of it, that's a business model on its own. Make a movie that people can make fun of it with memes, and then it'll market the shit out of it for you.
Then you should start planning that with your PR firm now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, it should have already been executed. So El Camino should have had something that happened in it some sort of nuance, something that, you know.
Well, they were doing a lot of that. Like at the premiere, they had the RV set up out front where they were cooking meth, and then Aaron Paul shows up driving the El Camino to get out at the red carpet. They were doing a big theme thing with the whole thing. But like I've been catching on to a lot of the Netflix original series. One of the ones that I've caught up on, and I was a little late on. Have you guys watched Ozark yet?
Oh yeah, great series.
Watch the first season.
I think my wife watched it.
It becomes too like there's just so much shit happening to that one guy. It's like unbelievable to some point.
I think that's the inevitable, and this is what goes back to like Breaking Bad. Why it was so good, I think because they had their ending, and so they had the ending in mind, I guess, throughout the whole series. So they were always working towards this. And when you have other series that you make one season and then you kind of hope it does well so that they greenlight a next season. Right. But when you do that, you don't want to like invest into the writing to write, you know what I'm saying, until they greenlight it. Then you're writing based on the first season. And I feel like when you do that, inevitably it's going to be way too complicated. You're going to try to force too much shit. Yeah. It's like the writing will suffer, right? If you don't have an ending in mind.
It's happened to just about every show that I've seen. It happened to The Sopranos, where there were so many loose ends that didn't get tied
up.
The
Walking Dead is
that's
a big
the
case.
Biggest
like
thing,
they just tried to do way too much, and it's like if they would have stuck with the way that it was the first 2 seasons, it would have still been successful. But
did they end it yet? Is it
no,
still going on?
Still
Wait,
going
Rick?
on.
I thought Rick left.
Yeah, he did.
Does he die?
They left it open where he didn't die.
So they can bring him back for the
The
last
comic
episode.
book's done though. There's
the comic book's
there's
done.
an ending.
So what happened in the ending of the comic book?
Rick dies.
Rick dies and Carl. Carl's still alive in the comic book.
Carl should die. Real people named Carl should die.
The last page in the comic book
Carl.
is Carl reading to his daughter the story of Rick.
Does anybody here know anybody that's still watches The Walking Dead?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I know some people.
Really?
But I even got out of it, and I was hardest core fan.
You were.
I didn't even know it
you
still
were ate up
existed.
with it.
Yeah. I can't even believe it's still going on.
What about the other one?
What has happened?
What about
Fear. It's Fear the Walking Dead is the other one.
Sailing Walking Dead,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Walking
one.
Dead.
Oh yeah, the Hunger
Boating Dead.
And they're coming out with a third one. So
What's that one called?
I don't know what it's called.
Oh,
but they're
planes.
Airplanes. They're going to have 3 Walking Dead series going on at the same
Flying
time.
Dead.
Well, they just
There's Walking Dead, Boating Dead, and Flying Dead.
Well, Robert Kirkman just released a book, and it's based on, I think it's called Tsunami, and it's based on like in Asia, the Walking Dead. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have a spinoff that happens in Asia.
What I don't get though is like, okay, so in the
a lot harder to stab them in the eyes with a screw.
Come on.
Yeah. What I don't get though.
I like how you're like, oh.
It was funny though. It was funny.
You need to add that.
But what I don't get, like in The Walking Dead, you had Morgan. How the fuck did he end up on Fear the Walking Dead when they're in Atlanta and the other one's in fucking California? Like, how the fuck? He definitely didn't walk.
It goes back to that's where we're flying the Walking Dead.
Flying Dead. He found a plane. He knew how to fly from like military service.
I honestly, I've never heard of anybody being like, I can't wait to watch
I'm just fucked out of zombies, man. I'm fucked out of them. Like, it's done for me. Like,
so what I'm saying is Zombieland 2, just wait. It's not worth
I want to go back to
the
vampires, and I'll tell you why. I feel like a really good vampire show, not like the one, what was the?
True Blood.
Not like True Blood. This one's got to be big name actors, and it's got to be a lot, like even more sex.
Have
than
you seen
True
What
Blood.
They Do in the Shadows? What We Do in the Shadows? That's a
but that's a comedy.
Yeah, but that's a TV show. That's out there. That's hilarious.
But it's done, right? Like that one.
The show?
Yeah, I thought it was over.
I mean, I think they're going to start over with more seasons.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, let's take a quick break.
All right.
When we come back, we'll play some voicemails. If you want to give us a call, you can. We'll take the last segment. We'll just bullshit and take it easy.
You want to, that alarm that went off earlier, full transparency, it's just a new song from Matt and Kim. This is what it was. Matt and Kim have a new single out. Check it out. It's called Go Go. This is an interesting song. Enjoy. We'll be right back with more Mediocre Time.
those media lists and get on them early. I'm sure if you get in early, they accept a certain amount early, and then you're just walking down the damn red carpet with Bradley Cooper.
He's got a great website that he's making a lot of money off of, where it's nothing but it's called awardsace.com.
Yes.
And it's just like keeping up with all the like Oscar nominations and stuff.
Yeah, he kind of organizes it. It's like
it's
Mike's weather page, but for movies.
Yeah.
Oh, really? He just takes all the different
and I mean, he gets a lot of traffic.
He does.
And then I guess you guys sell advertising with any website that gets hit.
No idea.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, there's so much shit out there. Anyway. I will plug that our merch from our 10 years on the website. We're still doing the White Claw Cup promotion, and we have a brand new tiny blanket for sale.
Yes. It used to be a towel, but we lowered the price. We're calling it a tiny blanket. That was my idea.
It's a great idea.
100% my idea.
Which is just the Lambo Dick Beach towel, discounted $5 because we couldn't sell them.
Yeah, it's called
and now it's a tiny
it's
blanket
called This
for the winter.
Product Failed. Let's pivot tiny blanket scenario.
$5 cheaper.
If you want a blanket too small to cover your body, then you can buy one. They're great for infants and babies.
Yeah.
Old people's feet.
What's the one piece of merchandise that you're like not proud of that you guys actually put
the
your name
fluorescent
on?
green dry fit shirts that you guys fucking beg for. And I said, please don't do that. Nobody wants a nerd. Look, everybody, I'm a road worker.
No, I'm just saying.
Who wants that?
The weirdest thing that you've put the Tom and Dan name on.
Well,
that you're not
weirdest
proud,
thing?
that you're not proud of.
The fidget spinner. That was Tony. I blame him. He's a dumb old man. He doesn't know.
That sold out in like
sell
a day.
What else? Chinese shit coolers?
Chinese shit cooler was pretty
But
bad.
people
What's a
like
Chinese
those.
shit cooler.
Well, we saw when they were running. Okay, we ordered like back in the day.
It's
we
like
used to
those
do more.
lunch boxes that old ladies always carry some fucking pet food in or something.
Broken shirt in a cup.
We went to like a
Broken shirt and a cup is up there.
we went to like a
Or broken cup with a shirt.
we used to get
You got it.
all our like promotional stuff is like the smaller stuff or whatever through like totally promotional. There's all these big websites.
Now, do you guys have people come to you and be like, "Hey, look at this. This would be great for you to put your name on."
Well,
we do have certain people. Once a month, we get a pin sent to us by these people. They're like, "Get these pins for your business," and we're like, "People don't even write anymore, you idiot."
It's got a stylist. So the Chinese shit coolers, all of a sudden they're running this this promo offer. They're like, look at these coolers. They're like 6-pack, soft-sided
You
coolers.
can't really call it a cooler.
And they're like, we're running 75% off or something like that. And then Tony, this was years ago, told us like, dude, we could get these coolers for $1.50.
Yeah.
And I'm like, $1.50?
But
You order 100.
Here's the thing: when we got them, they were made out of the material that you make
bad.
those shitty shopping bags out of. The ones that like you give away to everybody for free,
like canvas or
so
something?
we got it, and then the actual logo that we had, it was better with a cool beer. I remember it was a yellow logo on a red cooler. Well, when they printed it about the size of a fucking nickel, so it looked like shit. It was all blown out. You couldn't read anything, and I'm like, well, what the fuck are we supposed to do with these?
Yeah,
hunks of shit.
And we opened them up. I'm like, a 6-pack.
It
was so tiny, like a brick would fit in there. Like one brick.
You couldn't even fit one piece of ice in this.
And then we said how much of a hunk of shit they are. Then Daniel came up with a brilliant idea. Like, let's just call them the Chinese shit coolers and talk shit about them. We put them up, sold out an hour.
So where are we now? Tiny blanket. This shit doesn't sell. Look, I can
if you
pivot.
just tell everybody the truth,
I
they're
can
like,
pivot. Or just call it.
So what's next? Well, I mean, what's the next
This
thing?
could be.
Well, that'll only work for so long.
Look,
it'll be like, you guys produce garbage.
Maybe I'll change the name. Maybe it'll either be tiny blanket or big, like big tissue.
Oh yeah.
Like or big handkerchief. Like whatever it takes. You just call it whatever you need to call it to buy it.
Now, have you guys done the stereotypical like '90s radio thing and gotten the women's G-string underwears?
Oh,
never done that.
I wanted to. We were
done that.
really close to pulling booty shorts for a while.
Booty shorts.
We were like, we've got hey, we get the Tom and Ann booty shorts, so we were going to do this whole promotion.
You always wanted to do booty shorts, and I've always talked about it.
Yeah.
We went weird and did the test run of the sports bra, which is
we put it on.
We did a sports bra.
We put it on
for
Travis.
lesbians who want to strap their titties down. Here, put this on so you look more like a boy.
Yeah.
So Tom and Dan condoms or
we did.
anything?
We did that.
Yeah, but we didn't want people to use them. And ours were so shitty. It was a regular condom that they just stuck a round sticker on.
I dipped my toe
we
in
poked holes in all of them too.
in the
I did poke holes in all of them.
I dip my toe in the 90s water all the time. I'm like, ooh, feels good there.
Yeah. How do you like it in there?
Nice.
We we thought about doing beach balls.
Yeah.
Tony has this propensity to always want to do custom-made bikinis, and then so we have those.
I honestly feel like there's it's just a different time in the fact, like I even didn't get a model to do Camel Girl for our 10-year because it just didn't seem. It was like
we bailed on it.
I was like, I
felt like we should have done one more to do a full 10 years
You're
of
right,
Camel
you're right,
Girl.
we should have,
I
yeah.
feel like now we've only done 9 years of Camel Girl, so we've got one more to use.
And maybe this is wrong, but I felt like chick in a bikini. I know they want it, but
do they want it though?
Does
everybody? I think everybody still wants it. They're just too afraid to outwardly want it.
Yeah.
So like if we were
It's
to
just,
if we were to
creepy.
pass a note to all most of the listeners that were there, and so like, would you have wanted to take a picture of Camel Girl? Yes or no? They'd say yes. And then if you ask them, would you wanted a Camel Girl? Absolutely not.
Now, do you have like a casting couch type deal for these
Oh, yeah.
Camel Girls?
That's our other business.
sitting on it,
Casting
bro.
couch.
Well, Tom used to get the photos sent to him, and he wouldn't share them with me. Now Tony gets the photos sent to him, and then Tony asks for extra photos, which is weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need more.
Yeah, Tony's an old school horny. You can't get that out of him.
Yeah,
His calves, big boner calves.
Big boner calves. In fact, he doesn't even have calves. They're just two boners he walks in. He tucks his dickhead into a pair of bright white New Balance.
Tony's,
Please don't say it. Deb's listening. Deb.
we're joking, Tony.
Let's jump into some voicemails here. Here's one.
Hey, I was just listening to the show. A nice BLT with Wright Brothers brand bacon. A good piece of...
Okay, hold on.
I can hear the crunching of the lettuce.
I don't believe it's Wright Brothers brand bacon. Wright Brothers brand bacon would mean that it's strips of airplane parts. I think you meant Wright brand. It's just Wright, like W-R-I-G-H-T, Wright brand bacon. I don't think it's Wright Brothers brand bacon.
That's the right brand is Winn-Dixie, right?
No, Wright brand is its own like brand of premium bacon. It's the thick cut. It comes in the big package, and it's like $11 to $14 for like this big fucking thing of bacon. My daughter, like her favorite food is bacon, so that's why I know this because I'm gonna have to get some bacon this afternoon.
Pieces of Publix 5-grain bread.
No,
Good organic lettuce.
5-grain bread? Are you fucking crazy? 1-grain white soft sunbeam bread.
Yeah.
I don't want no fucking grains. I don't want any of Dave's muscle bread with that fucking the dude with the mullet.
Oh, in
that
my
has
house,
the red.
it's just shitty gluten-free bread.
Yeah. Any bread that has to be like my mom, she's like, I got the sprouted bread. I have to keep it in the freezer. You take out 2 slices, give it 15 minutes to defrost. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I want regular toasted bread that you would get at a diner. I want it to come in I just want it to say bread on the outside.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
White.
It's
Yeah.
white bread.
I don't want my bread to look like
No.
you pressed it on the bottom of a bird cage.
Yeah, thank you. I don't want the seeds. What are the seeds
Why
doing
are there
for
so
me?
many seeds on this?
Yeah. I'm just gonna dust them off on the floor, and when I dust them off, like is the like okay? Is it like if I eat it with the seeds, then like and then they tested my blood, they'd be like, oh my god, you're so
Papa
healthy,
seed.
and then I ate it without the seeds, they'd be like, oh my god, you're dying.
No.
Like, it's not. It's fucking bullshit. It's a lie.
I've never once made a sandwich, a plain old bologna sandwich, and be like, you know what? This bread needs a bunch of seeds. I don't want that. Nobody wants it.
It fucks up your sandwich.
Well,
Your
that's the
sandwich is
same-
supposed to be smooth.
That's the same thing like eating everything bagel. It's just got
yeah, too much.
I could do an
Oh,
everything.
hey, whoa,
but-
let's
yeah,
slow it down now.
You
Yeah.
guys settle down. I can do but that's a delicious treat. But for bread on a BLT, he goes on. He said organic lettuce and then a couple other things here. Hold on.
And Duke's mayonnaise, you can't beat it. It's a great damn sandwich and a good quality tomato. Later, buddy.
So we had mentioned BLTs. You a fan of the BLT?
Hell
Yes,
no.
I am. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you the last time I've had a BLT.
Really?
No.
I'll get one every once in a while, and I'll be
Wait, you get it-
excited.
but you get it at a restaurant, right?
Yeah,
You're not like cooking your own.
No.
See, when I'm cooking for the Spanish people in the hobo fish camp,
Yes.
like I will always, I have the top tray and I put bacon, and it's like bacon rain on whatever I cook underneath
Oh,
of
it
it.
makes it tasty.
Oh yeah, so
And then they take a bite. They're like, ha, ja, 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 ja. Right? That's I think that's how it goes here.
another voicemail.
Yeah, here we go.
Hey guys, you're trying to figure out a name for the dummy that you put in Jimmy's car. It's got to be Sally, of course. It's Mustang Sally. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, bye.
He's right. We should have called it Mustang Sally. Now, Jimmy hasn't.
Yeah, he hasn't noticed yet. Okay, but for non-BDMs, you can listen to the BDM show, but we. Anyway, long story short, we were playing a prank on Jimmy, which was totally impromptu. We weren't planning on it. We just we.
Well, is
had
it really
nothing
a prank if nothing fucking happens?
I know. He still hasn't noticed it
We
yet.
just wasted money. I drove by it yesterday. It's still in there, untouched.
Yeah. By the way, that's a tell that your hobby is a horrible idea.
You wasted your money.
You
wasted more money than we wasted on the prank.
Yeah. When the fact you haven't even looked inside your
and
hobby car.
Clean your fucking car out. It's full of McDonald's and a prank dummy. You fucking old man. Dumb old man. How come he hasn't? I text his wife every day, and she's like, "Nope, still hasn't seen it."
How do you not see it?
And then I'm like, "Is the prank?
It's a 6-foot dummy with a Mimo wig
is he
in the front seat.
Is he re-pranking us by ignoring it? Is it like what you would do with like internet trolls? You just ignore. You don't. You don't go in on it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So is his re-prank to us just to leave it in, like, will it now become part of the car and he'll just drive around with it in there and then pranks on us because we don't get the rise that we wanted out of him being like, oh, okay, guys, good job.
Tori's got to sit in the back seat.
I honestly think he probably, has never touched that thing in a month and just sitting there doing nothing, shitting up Baldwin Park.
Yeah, it looks bad, too. We drove by. And my daughter looked at it. She's like, what is that? I was like, that's what Daddy does for his job. He puts mannequins in the old man car with a Mimo wig on it.
Yeah, apparently radio people got money now, and they moved into the fancy neighborhood.
Yeah, but get that car out of here, man. Like, seriously, that thing is looking bad. You want to do another voicemail or email? Sure. Let's do this one. Oh, hold on. That one's not playing. Let me try it one more time. No, I can do it this way.
We could do email if you want.
Totally fine. I can do it this way. Here we are.
Hello, Tom and Dan Show. This is Megan, BDM and Side Chick. I was listening to the BDM show today and heard you guys talking about the new Pennywise and how it isn't as scary as the original. And this reminded me of this conversation I've been having lately about remakes of old horror movies that have been coming out. The first one that I thought of was the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street and how it was disappointing to me because it kind of lacked like that campiness that the original had it. But the idea of this psychotic serial killer that can only get you in your sleep is terrifying. But also knowing that sleeping is a thing you can't avoid is more terrifying. So the campiness made it kind of more palatable. In the new It movies, they actually follow the book pretty close, which is why the character of Pennywise doesn't seem as scary when you compare it to the Tim Curry version. In the original movie, they smooshed it all together and made it seem like Pennywise was a clown. But in reality, he isn't. In the book, Pennywise is just the manifestation of his victim's worst fear. So in the new ones, because you get to see all of the different manifestations, that little bit of campiness in each of the characters, I think, is needed. Just a thought. Love you guys bunches. BDM for life.
Love you too. Thanks for the explanation.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That Nightmare on Elm Street remake had the cool kid from the Bad News Bears playing Freddy Krueger. Do you remember the one that rode the dirt bike and smoked?
Yeah, it's Rorschach.
Yeah.
Watchmen. Yeah. It kind of fell flat, right? Everybody's like, I don't think.
I remember thinking it was going to be really scary from the beginning when they like locked him in the house and tried to burn him alive.
Yeah,
the beginning of the movie. I never saw it though, so I can't really commit. I always thought I always enjoyed the older Freddy Krueger because to me it wasn't that scary. He was more like almost an anti-hero in the fact that he would do these horrible things and kill these people or whatever with his, blade glove or whatever you fucking call it.
And he'd always have a punchline.
And then he'd have like a punchline.
Yeah.
And so the Robert Englund version of it, or
England
version of it, I just liked it because I was like, it wasn't really scary. It's more like Halloween-y vibe, if that makes sense.
Also, is any like horror movie that they remake gonna be not as scary? Just because the audience that's watching it older is remembering how they felt when they were younger, maybe even kids, which you were more scared when you were younger. So therefore, you're watching it as an older adult, and you're like, this is not as scary as I remember. But you remember watching it as a kid.
Right,
So,
right.
like, no matter what, it's going to fail the test, right? Because you're, as
I
an
can see
adult,
that.
you're less scared of shit that you would be scared of as a kid.
Yeah, also, you kind of know where the story's going just based on nostalgia. So you kind of know where it's, you know sort of the ending.
And you have to be so much more over the top, I feel like, now in today's society, because everybody's ADD because of cell phones and smartphones and social media, that you can't do like this long build up. People get too bored.
Do you like horror movies? You don't see
No.
many of them, do you?
Yeah, no.
Do you like them?
I like them, not as much as I used to. It's just none of it's original ideas anymore. It's
Well, how many? Yeah, I mean, everything's been done. I mean,
Jordan
there's only
Peele's
so much.
doing an okay job, but you think he'll fizzle out?
Us, I really didn't. I didn't care for it that much.
Get Out was good.
Get Out was really good because it was nobody's ever done anything like that. It was original idea.
I thought Us was a stretch for me. I didn't.
yeah.
I couldn't get on board. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's a good movie, but I just I wasn't.
Concept, yeah.
I got done with them. Like, all right, it's all right.
Like the last big horror movie that I saw that I thought was different than anything else was that Cabin in the Woods.
That was good.
That had a
Yeah.
big twist in it, and I didn't see that coming. But that was
End
an
of
original
days,
idea.
Yeah, but that's it. Like, well, I mean, to be honest, like how many horror movie are you? Like, let's go over it. Like, there's monsters, there's ghosts, there's like religious, like being exorcism or like someone possesses
Japanese
you.
little girl.
Yeah. So and then there's like the killer. Like some
Did
sort of
anybody
serial
see
killer.
Mama?
No, I did not. But I think serial killer movies are more realistic, though. Like
Because there are serial killers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nobody saw Mama?
No.
What is that?
That's I forget the lady's name.
Oh, it's the black lady, right? And she wanted to hang out with all the kids.
Yeah,
and
all the
wanted to
kids
be
wanted to
cool.
hang with her.
Hang
And
out
they're
in her
like buying her
basement,
beer
yeah.
and stuff like that, and hanging out with her.
That was
And then
garbage.
I mean, just based on I'm gonna guess. So this is not a spoiler. It might be, but I'll give you. But I think it's like maybe she wasn't popular as a kid, and then the popular kids started hanging out with her when she got older, and then in retribution for how she was treated as a child, maybe she tortured those kids.
No, really.
Because she's fucked in the brain. That would be my guess. That's just from watching the trailer.
Yeah.
But that to me is sort of scary.
How do they not know about some crazy Meemaw though? Like if that was like, I think the whole premise is like exactly like you said, like the parents picked on this kid, and then like this lady's picking on the parents' kids now.
The minute that the older black lady buys me beer and then kills Tom, I'm killing her.
Yeah, right?
Okay, I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's going to be that hard.
Yeah.
Like I'm find like a trash can or something. I'm bashing her over the head.
Take her insulin.
Yeah. Hide the keys to her lark. Like she can't chase me. I threw the keys to her lark in the fucking pond.
Should we make Butler get through one email? Because I
have one more, and then we'll.
Okay,
so
all right,
that'll
all right.
give him time to ready your best email.
I got it ready.
It's steady your reading eyeballs. Here we go.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Just had a couple questions for you. Was watching a little bit of Chatterbait, kind of new to it, and I think, Dan, you've referenced the stuff in the past about those little pink wands. I was just wondering, because lately it looks like I've seen a lot of those things just hanging out of girls' buttholes, and I didn't know if they're supposed to be inside their vaginas, or, it looks like...
Why? You okay? This is a scientific question.
I'm
Dr. Dennis, I'm getting a scientific message from one of my scientific friends. He wants to know if the pink wands on Chatterbait should be in your butthole or your pussy. This is science, Tom.
I didn't say anything. I'm listening.
Well, you're looking at me like...
I'm shaking my head.
Okay, here we go.
They kind of hang or rub around their clit area.
Oh, God.
Mainly, I don't know why, but it looks like there's a little Teletubby head or some type of little stringy tampon thing hanging out of these women's asses while, people are making it rain, and it sounds like someone's hitting, jackpot on a slot machine or something. But I don't know. Maybe you guys could give some insight to, what that's all about. Also, maybe we can get one of them girls into interview, and I'm sure you guys have a bunch of questions. Otherwise, that BDM show the Spirit Halloween thing, that was a shit show. A nice recovery on trying to get it Dirty Jim. I look forward to the part 2 on that. So kudos, and as you're aware, you realize you started Radio Wars all over again. But hey, I'm in. Count me in, guys. Love the show. Take it easy.
He ended up.
Okay,
guys, take it easy.
Also,
this guy obviously has no idea about inflection or how to talk.
What's funny?
Hello. How are you?
We have no idea if we started a radio war because we're too busy to listen to each other's shows to even find out what's going on.
Too busy to have a war.
Jimmy don't even know that we
we literally just launch a mortar and then we go back to work.
I don't know what he's saying.
What's the death toll? We don't know.
He had no idea what we're saying.
he
This is
doesn't
like
even know.
head down, keep working.
So you're trying to get a 90s radio war going?
Only with Jim Colbert. No one else.
Yeah. And it's falling flat because no one's listening to each other.
We even got his wife on board, and she's like, "He hasn't seen the prank yet, guys. I'm sorry."
By the way, imagine if I always think of things like this, like how these chicks, they're on Chatterbait or these webcam girls, and they make their living doing this. They just do things on camera, elicit tips and things like that.
Yeah.
I always think about sitting down with my pop-up and explaining this, like this is how they make their living, and just what he would think. I also, every time Max eats the dick candy, I imagine my pop-up's ghost heart exploding. Because, he's like, no, don't let him eat it.
What's funny is
and then my wife actually said, I told her that last night as a joke, and she's like, I think you'd find it funny. I'm like, no.
Yeah. It's so funny because I was over here working late. I think it was last Friday, and Andrea and Maisie were going to pick me up, and then we were going to go to dinner, and I was going to come back and get my car. Yep. And they came by, and Maisie come running in. She comes running in, she looks over, she goes, dog bones. Again, I'm like, how do they fucking know? How do they? She's just filling her mouth full of dicks. I'm just like, please don't do that. It makes Daddy... It's not good for Dad. It's not good for Daddy's heart.
And what we're referencing is there's a little
candy machine
that you turn the quarter or the thing, and then a little tiny dick candy comes out.
Does it got balls too?
Yeah, but that's why my sons think it's a bone.
They think it's dog bones.
Like a one-sided bone.
So it's got shaft, balls,
everything.
It's got everything.
But so they think it's, and then we just
tasty too.
We're like, it's a dog
they are
bone,
pretty good. They taste like Sweet Tarts. They're Smarties.
All right, Butler, you ready for one email?
You're
we'll
on.
get out of here.
You're on. Let's see if he can do it.
All right. Can we please have Tom expound on the philosophical ideas? How about the problem of evil to start?
That's how we're ending the show.
What do you mean? I don't even understand the question.
Well, I guess he wants you to kind of go into philosophical ideas and maybe start with the problem of evil.
So I don't even know what the...
Hey, man, I picked the shortest one. I don't know.
Expound upon evil? Well, I will tell you, I've thought about this high before. I don't
Here
think...
it comes. You got it, Butler. Well done.
I don't think that the concept of evil is subjective, and the people that are truly well, here's the thing, it's culturally too. I'm sure a certain culture would look at another culture and say, oh, those people are evil.
I
and
studied
then
that.
Yeah. So, but I also don't believe that I think people can justify and rationalize anything in their own minds. So I think even bad people don't think they're bad.
Oh yeah. For sure.
I don't think they could live.
Well, you don't think you're bad.
Sociopath, though.
Sociopath. Well, he has no idea. He's just void of any sort of emotion and empathy whatsoever. So he does. I take that out of there. I'm just talking about your average person with not an extreme mental illness. He'll justify his actions to make it seem okay to him.
Right.
And so therefore, I don't even think that bad people think they're bad. I think they justify what they do, and therefore everybody...
Well, yeah.
But do you think people are born evil, or do they learn it?
I think they can be.
Well, it depends. I mean, you're born with a mental illness, you're born with
but then I would classify you as being born with a mental illness. I wouldn't necessarily classify you as being evil.
So therefore, no one's born evil. Then.
The things that you do could be we could clarify and look at those things and say those are evil things, but you may not think they're evil because of your mental problem, right?
And I think like any society that has someone that is like real, like messed up and doing real bad things young, like I think everybody looks and like, watch out for this person because it's not going to be good.
What's the worst thing you did when you were young?
Dude, I
remember doing something bad that my mom. I think I fucking scared my mom into thinking I was like some sort of a serial killer. There were these little baby frogs that would accumulate themselves in like the woods beside their house, and then like those little cones in the soft sand that are created by like what are they, like ant? Ant lions?
Ant lions, yeah.
I think ant lions create the little cones, and then the frogs would get in there, and then I would just push the sand over the frog, burying it alive. And then my mom caught me doing that, and then I remember her crying and thinking that I was going to be like some kid like setting fire to the house and like killing my dad in his sleep. I think she actually thought that.
Yeah.
But I was like doing like the music and pushing the sand over the frog, like, will he escape? He doesn't escape.
Yeah, killing some frogs. I used to shoot lizards with paintball guns when I was that's
Does
Florida
it kill him?
redneck
It's got to
shit.
kill him.
Oh,
right?
it explodes.
Yeah.
It kills him.
I stepped on a lizard out here, and his guts went.
Out his
Butler
butthole?
told me they'd go out his butthole. They did not. They went on his side. So his side ripped open, and it just blew his guts out the side.
That's a rough way to go.
Yeah, that's bad. And he was still alive, I think, like as I was like looking at him.
Yeah. They run into the path. It's their own
Yeah,
fault.
why do they run into? Why does everything squirrels, lizards? They run at you.
Yeah, they want to die.
Hey, I saw
their fault.
Me and Maisie yesterday were outside riding bikes, and we saw a squirrel running and shitting as he was running.
Oh, really?
And we laughed and we fucking laughed. No one's ever seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen a squirrel.
Yeah, he was
shit.
running, and then like little turds are falling out of him. He's like, and we just started howling. She's like, he's pooping.
My ex-wife had a pug that would shit run through the house, and it was horrible to clean up.
My Fernando used to have
Used
a
to shit
boxer
run through the house?
that used to, as a puppy, just walk and piss while he walked the whole carpet. Just like, your dog's pissing, like everywhere, pissing lines. And like, why anybody in their young 20s gets a dog? It's beyond me. Like,
and we all do it.
Like, for you have no money. You're an idiot.
Yeah,
like, why are you
it.
getting an animal?
You're never at home. What'd you get? I got a fucking Great Dane.
Well, it's like
It is ripping up your shitting.
Yeah.
It's like homeless people that have dogs,
I know.
but they always take care of their dogs.
Yeah,
Like,
do they though?
No.
I feel like if you really investigated that dog, the dog would be like, I'm like, are you okay? And the dog would be like, this sucks. This guy's hot. Homeless. I want a home. Like I feel like he doesn't want to wear goggles. He doesn't want to ride in the front of your shopping cart.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to ride in the basket on your bike.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to sleep in the blaring sun under a piece of cardboard. He doesn't want to get kicked out of Wawa.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to watch you get tased and shit your pants in the bus station.
Yeah. He also doesn't want to see your slow decline because of your mental illness.
He doesn't want to see that.
Like,
he doesn't want to eat what you eat. Yeah, even if you give him a pinch off of that 7-Eleven Big Bite that somebody bought you, he doesn't want that. He wants fucking good dog food, air conditioning, a nice bed, a bed. He wants some glucosamine for his joints.
All right. So Tuddle, thanks for coming
Plug
by
some
this.
stuff.
no problem.
Where can people find you,
Follow me on Twitter at Tuddle, Tuddle with 2 Ds, Tuddle. Yeah, follow me there and keep up with me while I'm looking for a radio job at the moment. That's how you can keep up with me.
Why don't you do some podcasting?
I want to, man, but I just don't have the
I got extra equipment.
capabilities
You want some
of
gear?
doing it.
I got some
It's
gear.
cheap now. You could,
We'll set you up.
I have no job. Tom.
I
got extra
no
gear.
money.
Yeah.
I have everything you need in the other room.
We'll
you got a
give
computer?
here's the thing. We'll give you some extra gear, and if you do a show, we could, we'll figure out something. I'm sure.
I mean, I'm down to do something.
Yeah, we got extra gear, man. If you want to do it, we'll make it happen. I got more than enough. In fact, Juan in our Twitch chat room, I believe he has my extra mixing console too. If you need
We'll
something,
figure
like
out
that.
something. I mean, I'm looking. I'm keeping my options open right now. Looking for a job. So if you hear of anything, just leave it wide open for me.
There you go. Butler, plug something.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff going on in Orlando this weekend. So at the Dr. Phillips Center, there's the Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas orchestra thing going on. There are still group tickets, discounts available. That's still going on. That's at 8 p.m. tonight. And then tomorrow, there's a bunch of stuff going on. Ivanhoe Park Brewing Company celebrating their first anniversary, return to Joyland. There's going to be food trucks. There's axe throwing, great beers, a lot of new stuff going on tap. That starts from at 12, ends at midnight, and then later that night we also have the Jungle, Seth's gym, doing their Halloween thing going on one night only. Make sure you get tickets ahead of time for that because I think they are allowing only X amount of people through that whole thing. So get that.
Seth will be there dressed as a giant goat man. So you got to go there.
Some half-naked chick in some church or some weird shit like that. Who knows what the fuck's going on?
Listen, just go there.
He might inappropriately grab you.
Just go there and fuck with Seth. He'll appreciate it and tell him we sent you. So.
Yeah, walk by him and go, that goat shit his hooves. He won't laugh at that.
Go bully him.
Yeah, go bully him. He'll love that.
And Sunday, we have we have a Market on Magnolia, NFL ticket right there. Go check out Tom's picks. You might be able to win a Cigar City beer.
Yes, sir. TomandDan.com for all things Tom and Dan. New merch on the website. Our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. We'd love to have you guys over there. All of these Twitch shows go up on YouTube just a couple of days later because Twitch likes that. They like to have some...
Yeah, they don't like it right away.
Yeah, they like a level of exclusivity. I get it. They want you coming here, and we appreciate all of you that watched on Twitch. Anybody that gave us a donation today, we certainly do appreciate that. Tactical Hat, much appreciated. And for new listeners that joined us today, we appreciate that as well. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, y'all. We will see you next week.